morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Tough start to the postseason for the Guardians and Reds. Both teams dropped game one of their wild card series. Last night in Los Angeles, Dodgers star Shohei Ohtani hit a pair of home runs to power LA to a 10-5 win in game one of the NL wild card. Both teams are back at Dodger Stadium tonight at 9:08. A Reds win Wednesday, would force game 3 Thursday night in LA. The Guardians also find themselves in a must-win tonight in game 2 of the AL wildcard. Tigers ace Tarek Skubal struck out 14 en route to a 2-1 Detroit win in Cleveland yesterday afternoon. Guardians will host game 3 tomorrow. With a win later today, they'll force game 3 on Thursday. Also Tuesday, Red Sox beat the Yankees 2-1. Cubs top the Pirates 3-1. And in the NFL, ESPN says the Browns will start Dylan Gabriel Sunday against the Vikings in London. Joe Flacco will be the backup in that game. You can hear Sunday morning at 9:30 on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
Talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. And the great Doug Lavery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Tiberi here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only 2 guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, let's do it live on a First Friday Miracle Edition of the program. Bo and the boys with you for the next 3. The Cleveland Browns have a new starting quarterback as the Dylan Gabriel era begins up in Cleveland. We will get into that as the show goes along. Ryan Day on Minnesota as he turns his sight to a night game at the Shoe, and welcome him in Coach PJ and the Row the Boaters. They'll be here on Saturday night. We'll do a little higher, lower, 10 o'clock. 10:30, Jake Trotter going to join us. We'll probably talk a little Browns, but a lot of college football with him coming up at 10:30, 11 o'clock. It is a Hey Guys First Friday. It's still time to get your Hey Guys questions into the fellas at 971-BFS. You can also do so in the YouTube chat. Winner there gets the $50 to our great friends at High Bank. And then 11:30, Scott Dochterman will join us from The Athletic around the Big Ten and around college football. I don't know what has caused all of this, but in the last month, and I'm pleased that it has, but in the last month, I have seen 3 people have come by where I live, and people from different parts of my life. So I told you I had my cousin who drove through on the cross-country motorcycle bike ride. So he came through a couple of weeks ago, and then like within 2 or 3 days of that, a buddy of mine in Florida who I hadn't seen in a long time was emceeing an event, and he was in town, and so I had him over. Last night, another one of our friends who, it's funny, as you get old, you say to yourself, my wife was like, so when do you think the last time, and it was a guy, he was on Channel 4, Dave Trigar's his name. He's the Penn State alumnus I talk about all the time. He's a meteorologist at Channel 4 with my wife years ago. And he was over, and my wife's like, well, when do you think's the last time we saw Dave? And I said, it's been a couple years, I think, a couple years. Turns out, as you become a man in your 40s, a couple of years can be a decade. And you don't even realize, like, you just say it's been a couple of years. And we were talking last night, and it had been since 2014. Like, I saw him at the Ohio State Penn State game in 2014. I felt like I saw him like 2 years ago, but a couple of years become a decade as you get older. So he was over. It was lovely, having some wine, enjoying everything, and had our eye on the baseball. As a quick aside, I will tell you that you're in trouble in my house when it's 10 to 11. And I say to my wife, she's looking for more wine. And I'm like, I think we're out of red. And she like winks at me. And I go, oh God. She comes up with a Magnum. I go, honey, you can't choose violence on a Tuesday. Like, I'm getting up at the same time. Did it stop her? Nope. Blew right through the stop sign, opened up a Magnum, and now we'll all pay for it throughout the day. So we thank her for all of that. But as all of this was going on and we were sitting there, I had the Reds-Dodgers game on in the background. And as you know, I grew up a Dodgers fan. And we have a bit that I don't pay any attention to baseball, but I pay attention to baseball. I just don't watch it as much as I used to. And it just so happened that as I would, and like a great many of you probably, certainly all Reds fans, Shohei Ohtani comes to the plate in the first and goes gonzo. Not a little gonzo, a lot gonzo. The ball leaves the yard in what to me felt like a millisecond. And I see you guys have it in the prep. I didn't even see this part. The leadoff home run went 117 miles an hour, the hardest hit home run off a 100-mile-an-hour pitch since 2015. And you go, well, that's what you get into, I guess, when you're playing the Dodgers, is you open it with that guy. Then he does it again in the sixth, hits a 454-foot blast, longest Dodgers postseason home run in the StatCast era since 2015. And we'll get to the Reds and the Guardians. Obviously, both of them lost, and we'll get into the baseball side of it. But as I'm watching this guy, and I will try to be careful, and I don't believe this is hyperbole, and I've said for a long time, I think that he is the greatest baseball player who ever lived, the best baseball player who ever lived. He might be as good at baseball as anyone's been at anything. I'm kind of getting to the point with this dude. If this keeps going, and he's already done it for a pretty extended period of time, but if this keeps going this way, and this is just what happens with him in the postseason, this is Tiger Woods type stuff. This is Usain Bolt type stuff. This is Katie Ledecky type stuff or Serena Williams type stuff. There's really there's nothing in his sport to compare him to because no one's ever attempted to do this. Isn't he scheduled to start game 3 in this thing, if there is one?
If necessary.
I mean, what are we talking about? What in the hell are we talking about? He hit one damn near out of Chavez Ravine. I think it landed in Bakersfield, and he sends that message in the first inning, and you go, well, we can't do this.
That second one he hit that you're talking about, too, that, like, almost goes out of the stadium, yeah. It didn't even look like he swung. It was so nonchalant and effortless and easy.
Crazy.
It's not fair that some people are that good at what they do.
He's the best baseball player to walk this planet in the history of this planet.
Yes. I'm with you. I mean, I don't, and then just bigger picture, I just think he's as good at this as anyone's been at anything. I think he's reaching that level. I guess he just needs to stack a few more of them, like just a few more seasons of this to have like this comprehensive thing. But if you do that thing that I do, and usually when I'm trying to compare guys from eras, I'll go to the Baseball Reference or Pro Football Reference or one of those and just see like where they are historically. There's really nothing for him. There isn't a doppelganger for it. Like people, Babe Ruth. Dude, that's not even the same sport.
It's a totally different time.
1924. Like, come on. What are we talking about? It is that astonishing what he's doing. And from the Reds' perspective, like he just, much like my wife with the Magnum as she walked up the stairs, he just chose violence right away. And you're like, well, okay, I guess this is what we're going to have to deal with. The crazy thing is from what I can tell, and this is amateur hour here, but from what I can tell, the Dodgers bullpen is going to be a real problem for them. So if you can get there quicker and keep some of these runs off, I mean, they scored 10 for God's sakes, but if you can keep it down a little bit, maybe that's your path, is just the fact that their bullpen's not great.
Yeah, Blake Snell was pretty dominant last night. The Reds weren't touching him. The best thing that happened was him getting out of the game, and then they had a chance. And, I mean, you had a good chance in the 8th inning, right? The bases are loaded. You got Ellie coming up, and then Tyler Stevenson has a hell of an at-bat where he fouls off a million pitches, and they just can't get anything done there, unfortunately, and that was the ball game.
Yeah, that was it. I marvel at him. Absolutely marvel at him. And we don't get to see him much because he basically played his whole career at 10 o'clock on the East Coast. Like if he were a Yankee or a Red Sox or a Guardian or a Tiger or a whatever, if he played in the Eastern time zone and you got to see it more often, I think it would even be bigger. The difference is he did the anti-Trout. He didn't stay in the closet. When it came time for him to find a new team, he went to the second most glamorous team in the sport.
I kind of wish that they'd have flipped this game between the Reds and the Dodgers with the Yankees and Red Sox. Like, I understand the New York market. Like, that's all they're leading off with today, like how much of an idiot the Yankees manager is. Yeah. But the idea that you have to wait up till 9 o'clock Eastern to watch Shohei Ohtani, like the most exciting player, the biggest star in baseball's postseason, is past your bedtime, I think is not great for baseball to do if you're trying to keep the momentum from the end of the regular season and try to keep attention, because Thursday night football is tomorrow night, because then you've got the NFL and college football this weekend. Like, you want to take and carry that momentum into the weekend so that the DS has viewership.
Well, unfortunately, that's what you get all year with him. Bo, when I watch him, and obviously it's a little different, but I almost feel like when we watch him, and unfortunately he has had injuries that have kept him from being his full potential as like a pitcher and hitter, like that two-way star.
Yeah.
I feel like when we watch him, it's almost like what we got robbed from when Bo Jackson got hurt.
It's funny you say that, because that's kind of the impossibility of what Bo did comes to mind. Totally different tasks and all of that, but just that seemed as impossible at that time, and then Bo made it possible. And then you had others did it, like Deion Sanders did it, Brian Jordan did it. There were some others who did it during that time, but Bo was like the first one that says, yeah, I think I'm going to do this. And what I think's interesting about Ohtani is no one else has been like, yeah, I think I want to try that too.
That's always baffled me, and I guess it tells you how special he is, that more guys haven't done that. You saw the Reds had a pitcher in Michael Lorenzen who dabbled in the outfield a little bit and would come in and pinch hit and whatnot. I think the other thing about Shohei that we don't even talk about, he would probably be a Gold Glove outfielder if he just focused on being an outfielder. Yeah,
if he just played like right field, he probably would be just exactly that. One other thing before we get out of here on this in the first segment here, my work is done. Yesterday we do Tuesdays with Taberry. It was an all-timer, and it was very clear that he had not seen what PJ Fleck wore to his press conference on Monday. And so I brought it to his attention, and then I see him on Channel 10. He drops a Paul Anka in our hit. You want to talk about old reference lost on young listeners, but God bless. I see this guy with his shirt unbuttoned down to his navel on Channel 10 yesterday. I've done my job. Like, the rest of the week, I'm off. I'm good. Like, you cannot beat what this was. So to see him in this is everything I've ever wanted, is him in those days.
You know, Terry Taberry was at home and saw that and was like, oh. I remember that guy.
Sure she does.
Yeah, boy.
So does half of Columbus remembers that guy. All right, we'll get back to the baseball. The Guardians with a tough one. Skubal was unbelievable. We'll get into that. Obviously, we have a coach or a quarterback change with the Cleveland Browns, with Dylan Gabriel being the starter. We have that to get to. You're going to hear from Ryan Day. It's quite honestly pretty loaded up on a first Friday. Kids, we're off and running. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Listen up.
Y'all know what time it is.
Abbott Elementary returns.
Miss Shementi will no longer be teaching second grade. She'll be moving up to teach middle school math in homeroom.
New year.
Preteens are very different than second graders. Every day is like an episode of Scared Straight. What?
Same Abbott.
We live in a post-truth landscape, and these kids hit below the belt, which is where you haven't been touched in years.
Abbott Elementary season premiere.
Tonight at 8:30 on ABC6.
Good morning, Columbus. It's going to be a good day, and it's going to be big. With the biggest morning news team in Central Ohio, Good Day Columbus. The biggest news, weather, and traffic in town every day. Bringing you over 5 hours of breaking news, live reports, and continuing coverage, and stories that'll make you smile. First Warning Weather gets you ready for the day ahead, and Steer Clear Team Traffic will get you to work on time. Good Day Columbus, weekday mornings on ABC6. It's going to be a good day.
Parents, are your teens good with money?
No.
Switch to Huntington Bank and let's teach them. They get their own card, which they can add to their digital wallet, and you can monitor and set spending limits. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
AmeriHealth Caritas Ohio is your Medicaid plan for more. More benefits, more rewards. We know that good health means more than just seeing a doctor when you're sick. Eligible members can receive extras like home-delivered meals and family essentials, like baby carriers and kids' school supplies. Members can even earn rewards for playing mobile health trivia games. Learn more at AmeriHealthCaritasOH.com and call the Ohio Medicaid Consumer Hotline at 1-800-324-8680 to choose AmeriHealth Caritas Ohio.
Hi, this is Ryan Krieger, and at Krieger Ford, we're offering an amazing $12,000 off MSRP on a new Ford Bronco Badlands. This offer is only from Krieger Ford, so come see us on Morris Road or visit KriegerFord.com today. Home of the Krieger Commitment. Best cars, best people, peace of mind.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One of the biggest reasons people get new windows, Wilson, is that old windows make for an uncomfortable house with crazy high roller coaster energy bills.
Leslie, people love being uncomfortable on roller coasters. The ups, the downs, the gurgling in your stomach because you had 5 corn dogs before getting on.
Did that happen to you, Wilson?
What? No.
Get the windows that can completely change the look and feel of your home at PellaColumbus.com.
You know me, when it comes to big moments like popping the question, I always say, I've got a guy. That guy is Bob Capace at Worthington Jewelers.
Thanks, Common Man. Right now, it's our fall bridal sale. Buy one, get one 50% off. Engagement rings, wedding bands, wedding jewelry. We've got it all.
If you want sparkle, you want quality, and you want to save big, trust me, I've got a guy.
That's me. Come see us at Worthington Jewelers.
Worthington Jewelers,
where Columbus gets engaged.
Hello, big voice guy here. I've been hired to tell you all about the Fans YouTube channel. Did you know you can immerse yourself in Buckeye goodness like Austin and Burb's daily podcast, The Beat? Yes, sirree, Bob. Subscribe today.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating. You're overwhelmed. You might not be big on technology, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Maybe you've gone through a divorce or a bad breakup, or a relative moved out. It's been hard, and you just want to take what you want and leave the rest behind. I will help you. Retiring and want to sell your commercial properties or land. I will help you. Sellers, whether you're selling as is or selling for top dollar, you're no longer alone. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Another summer day ahead with daytime highs topping out in the low 80s and bluebird skies with plenty of sun. For tonight, a few more clouds in our lows, getting down into the upper 40s to low 50s. But then for Thursday, we'll see partly sunny skies and highs right around 80 degrees. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Find us on YouTube. Search WBNS Radio and you can see what Bo looks like. But only if you subscribe. This is Bishop and Friends.
So if you are a Cleveland sports fan, as Reese is and Bake is partially, and you are, it's a fine first Friday, and you want to talk sports, are you talking about what's going to happen at 1 o'clock in a must-win situation for the Guardians, or are you going to talk about Dylan Gabriel being the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns?
You're taking Browns phone calls till 4 o'clock this afternoon.
It's Cleveland, so they'll take 1 billion of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you're doing Browns until Guardians post-game.
They'll feed the number as much as you want. They'll tell you the number to call.
And then you'll get your top of the hour updates. We'll have Guardians scores starting at, would it be, I guess, if they're still doing the 2020s, starting at 1:20, then you get a Guardians update. And then you get Guardians updates in the updates, but it's just Browns.
It's just Browns.
Yeah.
We'll get into the Gabriel decision and how all of that happened and why it happened and so forth. We're going to do that at 10:20 today. All right, so this is the question I'll pose for you, Reese, because you are the son of Geronimo here. If they don't win this series, does this season land?
I think so. I think because you were able to knock out a 15.5 game deficit in the American League Central, you won the division for the third time in 4 seasons. You did it with a lineup that 8 days a week was looked at as laughable. Like, I remember just last week, a very similar lineup that had Jonathan Rodriguez and John Kenzie Noel in it was laughed off of social media. And they ended up winning with that lineup. And so yesterday, you're like, this lineup's garbage any other time of the season. But you're like, well, Stephen Votes earned the benefit of the doubt for this. Yeah. And then they showed you why you thought, baseball knowers, this lineup was garbage yesterday. Because in large part it was.
Well, Skubal was outrageous, too.
That's the story, right?
Yeah, I think that's
14 Ks by Tarek Skubal. I think one of the, if not the best pitcher in baseball, certainly the AL Cy Young winner. Good luck.
Yeah.
I feel like that's tough, with the guards yesterday saying that the lineup was garbage when you're facing a guy like Skubal, who was just seemed to be on it yesterday. I mean, 14 Ks, that's pretty impressive. That's almost how I feel like with the Reds last night. For me, like, Blake Snell was just really damn good last night. And sure, are there things that you can complain about? Absolutely, but I just feel like Blake Snell, better than Hunter Green. Tarek Skubal, great yesterday.
Yeah, the Guardians franchise is probably the Reds they have not been this good. I mean, the Guardians have been consistently good for 2+ decades, really 3+ decades. They've been more good than bad. They don't have that World Series championship, but they've been there a couple of times. They've gotten all the way to a Game 7 on their own field. Like they've been in these spots a lot, and they're quite clutch. And it does feel like it's a rite of passage. It's a birthright to win that division, but there obviously isn't that championship either. And so the one that I always think is one of the great sports fan questions is, would you rather be, I mean, let's do it this way. Let's use Mike's. Let's use Mike's team. Would you rather be Mike and love the Chicago White Sox and have a World Series championship, but since then largely irrelevant, or a Guardians fan at bats every year, but no championship?
I don't know, man. I got the Pope on my side if I'm a White Sox fan. You take the Guardians.
I think so, but it's
at least I would.
Some people wait like they're. I think also still, Reese, you're young. Like as you get older, you know there's time, but as you get older, you're like, boy, how many more seasons do I have in me to see a championship?
I think I'm very confident the Guardians will win one in my lifetime, but I can understand if you're in your 70s or 80s and you're looking at like, no, I'd rather be the White Sox because at least I'd have known what it was like to summit baseball's mountaintop.
I think that's so tough. And I remember we used to always talk about this with the Miami Marlins, how they would win a championship, fire sale, be awful for 5 years. Then all of a sudden they would be good and win another championship and then fire sale. And now they haven't been good for a really long time. It's so difficult because I remember a championship with the Reds. I was 9 years. I just turned 10 when it happened.
Yep.
In 1990. So I remember that. And God, as a kid, it was great. But since then, the Guardians have been one of the premier franchises in baseball as far as consistency and being in the mix. And the Reds have had some ups that were nice, but they've had a lot of really bad downs. So it's such a hard, because I can always hang my hat on 1990.
Sure.
But, man, the last 30 years have been hell.
As a sports fan, 30 years go by in a hurry. You know, and it's crazy, too, because with the Indians-Guardians franchise, there's actually 2 examples in the division. The Royals won it in 85, where if you're a man and you're in your 40s, you might have some recollection of that. Then they were god-awful for 30 years. And then they summited again with Hosmer and those guys, and they did it again. And so they have 2. In my lifetime, they have 2, and other than that, largely irrelevant. So it's a very tricky one, and you know, for them, I feel like you gotta get out of this series. Like as an old school baseball guy watching this, I'm going, I just watched this game last Thursday.
Yeah, you've seen that. I just watched
Skubal play the Guardians last Thursday, And the Guardians won and celebrated because they had taken over first place and were going to win the division. And I'm like, why do I got to deal with this guy again? What are they doing in here? And that's the thing that's got to be such a weird mental hurdle to get over for the guys on that team, because now all of a sudden all of the pressure's on them today, all of it.
And the idea that in the 7th the Tigers go up 1 off a sack bunt, like no, that's the Guardians' move. Wait a minute, Chris.
Were you mad at Ramirez in the 9th?
I wasn't. I think it was a really good fake out by the pitcher for Detroit, whose name's escaping me right now, but he had a nice pump fake on that. And I think just because it's Jose.
When he gets to third the way he did, are you like, oh, we're winning this game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it felt like the game that just happened to your point last week. You're like,
same game.
Guardians are winning 3-1 or 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
Chris in the YouTube chat just said the Guardians are Penn State football. Well, when you put it like that, no, I don't like that. Get out of here. Why are you choosing violence, Chris?
So it's funny. I took that buddy of mine is the Penn State alumnus. I asked him that yesterday because I cite him all the time, and I'm like, where are you with Franklin? And he goes, I'm done. But the thing that he said was, he goes, I've been the biggest supporter, and the thing that I keep coming back to, and he actually used the example that I used on Monday's show. He said, I just look at Nebraska and I think, God, we can't let that happen. And he used the Bo Pelini example, like they thought they could do better than Bo Pelini. How's it going? And that's their fear over there.
Fear.
I think they have a better ceiling, but that's the fear.
The most powerful motivator.
Yeah.
I think the thing that's so hard in baseball too is it's such not a level playing field, right? Like you just look at these playoffs alone, and we talked about the Reds and the Guardians and the Milwaukee Brewers, who have had a great year, the number 1 seed in the NL Central. Their payrolls are just above 100,000. Whatever, 100 million. Sorry,
yeah.
100 million.
Yeah.
And then you've got the Dodgers, who are like 700 million. The Yankees, who are like 5. It's tough to compete all the time.
No.
Like the Guardians have when the playing field is so.
We're the only
uneven.
ones who do that, though, Bake. We don't do it in college football. The rest of the world doesn't do it at all. Nobody in La Liga is going, it's so hard to compete. Real Madrid has all the money. Like, we want our chance, too. It's our professional sports are the only ones that do it. College football doesn't do it at all. College football has a caste system that is set in place. It's our professional sports, and the ones that the group that did it is the NFL. And this is where the NFL was really, really smart. The NFL was really smart to say, we're better if everybody's good. If everybody's 8-8, back in the 16, we're better. That means in Green Bay, it matters just as much as it does in New York, and you can win in Buffalo just like you can win in Los Angeles. That's what the NFL did. And everyone else has tried to do it, but the NFL's model is unique entirely to itself because they only play one game a week. And so you can have a $7 billion franchise in Buffalo where you can't. Baseball, it doesn't work that way because they have their own rights deals. So I see where you're coming from, but I think football gives us the NFL give us a disproportionate view of what we're entitled to as sports fans.
Totally agree. And I think that makes what the Guardians have done these past 30 years even that much more impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. Yeah, it is. It has been. The Buckeyes, speaking of Real Madrid, the Buckeyes are Real Madrid. What can you say about a team that does about everything right? Well, you end up nitpicking is the answer to it. You're going to hear from Ryan Day as he prepares for Minnesota coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
At Kroger Pharmacy, we make it easy to get flu, COVID, and RSV vaccines. They're available at no cost to you with most insurance plans. No appointment needed. And we're open weekdays, weeknights, and weekends. So come and visit us when it's most convenient for you. Kroger Health, a world of care is in store. Vaccines subject to availability. No cost to you with most insurance plans. Check with your plan for eligibility. Restrictions and exclusions may apply. See site for details.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay. and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At CARE, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront costs before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. CARE Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 Cars for Kids.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's up with you?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, here's what's up on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. Buckeyes and Minnesota here on Saturday night. Where are we on the ESPN bet line on this? Are we to 23.5? Yeah, 23.5. Buckeyes by 23.5 in a game you can see. This will be an NBC primetime game at 7:30 at the Shoe. It's going to be great to be back home. It's going to be great to have a night game. The day looks spectacular. The night looks spectacular. Everything that you'd want from a Buckeye experience to be. And for Ryan Day's team, he has the unenviable task of trying to coach up a team that doesn't do much wrong. He's in the same spot we are, folks. Like, you want to come on here, and there is certainly some of the instincts of doing this job, or as fans, whether it's in message boards or on social, is to gripe. It's an airing of grievances, right? It's a Festivus for the rest of us. Well, when you have a team that is this good, this soon, that is winning the way that they're winning, you almost have to find warts that don't exist. And my hunch is you're not alone. My hunch is that Ryan Day's trying to do the same thing. He had his press conference yesterday. Among the topics of conversation is this team having to grow up. Let's have a listen.
Well, one of the things this summer we talked about, we got to grow up in a big way, but you're seeing maturity. I mean, there's no way to shake it other than that. You know, you're seeing guys handle themselves well like pros. They're executing on the field well. They're building confidence. You know, I say all that, and you guys know what I'm going to say. Like, we're not anywhere near where we need to be. We have to continue to get better. We got a lot of work to do, but you know, to play the way that we played up to this point shows maturity.
So this is the rat poison part. This is what Nick Saban used to talk about in Tuscaloosa all the time, and what he would talk about is. The people who covered his team held him to a standard, and it was a foregone conclusion that Alabama was going to win 11 games, that they were going to play in the playoff, that they were, in most years, going to play for a national championship. That's what Saban did every single year. And so he called it rat poison anytime people would be positive about the dominance of his program. Ryan Day's there right now. This team is the best team in America. This team has the highest ceiling in America. And the way they're going about wins is as if they have the answers to the test. They're not going about trying to win. We talked about this on Monday. They're not going about these games week in and week out like we got to impress people. Oh, no. They've already impressed. This is let's get a win. Let's salt this thing away and on to the next, because we got much bigger fish to fry in December and January. That's how he's coaching this team. So the challenge for him and his staff, us, you, the collective, is how do we even constructually criticize a team that there's so little? I came in here on Monday and I'm like, red zone maybe, a couple of red zone things against Ohio, and then they didn't score on the the first trip into the red zone against Washington. They only had the ball 6 times. Like, they're going about it in a different way. So the challenge for him is going to be, what do I do to keep my guys having an edge? What do I do to keep them striving and working and all of that? He's going to rely on leadership a lot. He's going to rely on Sonny Styles and Brandon Ennis and Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs. Like, they're going to be leaned on a lot, because that's a tough task for him, is to try to convince a team that's this good that they're not there yet.
It's such It's such a fine line to walk, because you're only a quarter of the way through a season.
Yeah.
And what I think the natural human reaction would go, okay, play a perfect game. 0 penalties, 0 turnovers, scoring on every possession. That's just not realistic to do. So I think the real task for this coaching staff is to walk that line, where you're constantly challenging them to, do the little things perfect, but also while not like being having those young humans get sick of the message week in and week out when it doesn't, there's no payoff on Saturday, because it's 24.5 per ESPN bet. And how do you tell a team that through 4 weeks has faced little resistance from other opponents outside of 1 or 2 things here and there to keep that going without it being a Michigan, or without being a college football playoff game?
And, Bo, you said it there, and we've said it multiple times on this show. Not only is this the best team in the country, but it's the team with the highest ceiling. We talked about it back when they played Texas, how different this team would be in a month. Well, we're a month away, and they're a lot better than they were when they played Texas. How much better are they going to be when the calendar flips to November? How much better are they going to be when they get into a college football playoff? And for Ryan, I think he's got the perfect season motivator, whatever, to look at with last year. Like, hey, guys, we did not play our best until that college football playoff. We're playing well right now. It looks good, but there's always more we can do, and there's always hiccups along the way that you may not think will be hiccups that can trip you up if you don't continue to get better.
There's no doubt. But it's a tough one. And some of it is how they've looked, and some of it is how the rest of the country's looked. Because, and we knew this was going to be a weird year, because you have so many teams that are starting over at quarterback, and you didn't know what that would all look like. And so I think that contributes to it as well. Like, I think people finally saw Oregon play Saturday night. We've been talking about Oregon for a month, but I think people finally saw Oregon play on Saturday night, and they're like, oh, that's pretty damn good. By the way, like, as much fun as we're having at the expense of Penn State, they're really good too. They're very good too. And in terms of teams who can win a title, you start having that conversation. Do you have ESPN bet up right now, Reese?
I have the college football slate for the weekend.
Okay. What I'm curious about is national championship futures as we sit a month in. I'm very curious to know. Obviously, Ohio State will be number 1. My hunch is Oregon would be number 2.
Correct.
I'm very curious who 3 is.
Penn State plus 750. Texas plus 800, along with Alabama. Georgia's plus 900. The U 1500. Ole Miss and Oklahoma are plus 2,000.
There's not a single value bet there. Maybe Texas. Texas is getting slept on a little bit because of the way it looked with Arch.
The way it has looked.
Could Oklahoma be your value bet there?
But
possibly.
It's a great call out of you, but then you want to see Mateer get back, right? Because they haven't played without him yet. They have Kent State this weekend, so
it'd be all right.
Whatever that number is, they'll cover it because they're going to want to prove that they.
It's 45.5.
Oh my God!
So
maybe not.
Probably not covering that.
I don't know. I think when Kent State's played power conferences, it's like 60-10.
They lost 62-14 to Texas Tech.
Yeah.
66-10 to Florida State. So,
Bo, it was interesting. I saw a graphic last night while perusing the internet that had the top 5 for ESPN bet in the national championship, and I thought, oh, isn't that interesting? 3 Big Ten teams at the top, and it goes back to our conversation the other day. Are the 3 best teams in the country from the Big Ten? Probably not, but it could be.
The two are, and then it's just a matter of that. It's just that enormous, monkey on James Franklin's back in terms of being able to win a game where talent equates.
At this point, it's King Kong. I mean, it's a
yeah, it is. I think it is. It is. It's King Kong sized on there. I'll give them credit though. I don't know if you guys noticed. Did you guys notice this? That all of that student section in the whiteout on Saturday stayed to sing the alma mater.
There's a lot of that's. I think another thing that makes me a little frustrated is there's so much passion and pride with that fan base.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think the fear is such a powerful motivator for them to not move off of it, because where they are right now is maybe as high as they could get to.
Yeah, and it's if you don't make I don't know. I don't know if it is or not. I think that they are. I think they're closer to Ohio State than they are Nebraska as a program. But I also don't have the wounds of even before the Sandusky stuff, like Paterno falling off a cliff. I mean, we don't have that here. We don't have that scar tissue. We don't have what happened after with Bill O'Brien and guys rating their program. Like, we don't have 4 and 8 seasons. We don't have those scars. They do. So maybe that's a part of it. I think Ryan's going to have to find new ways to reach this team and keep them sharp as we bring it back here. That's his biggest challenge over the next month before Penn State comes to town on November 1st.
And the fan base is going to have to, if you're still sitting there going like, I'm not thrilled with the 24-6 win, figure out how to be okay with it over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, and I think also understand what he's doing. Understand what he's doing. He's playing to win the games and playing to win games in January. He's not trying to score 70 against Minnesota Saturday night. He's playing the long game, is what he's saying. We talked about this on Monday. All right, so he had an all-time outfit at his press availability on Monday. You're going to hear from PJ Fleck. And we saw the ratings from college football. There is one number over the weekend that is just stupefying in terms of its growth. There's another one that ought to be a little bit troubling for the Big Ten media partners. We will get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
October is Car Care Month. Visit your local AAA Tire and Auto Service location and save $40 on any repair of $150 or more. And on the plus side, AAA members save more. Offer valid October 1st through October 31st. See store for details.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
Hey friends, Beamer here. In a bye week, it's about getting your energy back, and that's exactly what Awaken 180 gave me. I don't drag through mornings anymore. I'm not dreading the stairs or a long day. I feel lighter, sharper, and actually in control. Yeah, I dropped a lot of weight, but what actually matters is how different my life feels now. If you're ready for your own reset, take this bye week to get you there with Awaken 180. Start today online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good. You know the savings are so good. You know the savings are so good. Great cars, great deals, Great Lakes. GLakesHyundai.com.
Listen up.
Y'all know what time it is.
Abbott Elementary returns.
Miss Shementi will no longer be teaching second grade. She'll be moving up to teach middle school math in homeroom.
New year.
Preteens are very different than second graders. Every day is like an episode of Scared Straight. What?
Same Abbott.
We live in a post-truth landscape, and these kids hit below the belt, which is where you haven't been touched in years.
Abbott Elementary season premiere.
Tonight at 8:30 on ABC6.
Good morning, Columbus. It's going to be a good day, and it's going to be big. With the biggest morning news team in Central Ohio, Good Day Columbus. The biggest news, weather, and traffic in town every day. Bringing you over 5 hours of breaking news, live reports, and continuing coverage, and stories that'll make you smile. First Warning Weather gets you ready for the day ahead, and Steer Clear Team Traffic will get you to work on time. Good Day Columbus, weekday mornings on ABC6. It's going to be a good day.
When we started the company, I was absolutely going to build my own plant.
We can build a very, very good window and sell it at a reasonable price. If you buy from a company that is a dealer, they have to order the part from the factory, have it sent, and then schedule service. I got 500 locks out back. If you need a lock, it'll take me 15 seconds to walk back here and grab one for you.
Visit our showroom today at 4200 Roberts Road.
Friday night can only mean one thing: the Capital Ford High School football game of the week.
This week, Upper Arlington at Olentangy Liberty.
Live coverage starts Friday at 6:30. Your home of Friday Night Lights, The Fan.
Common Man here for Hollywood Casino and the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Timmy, it's football season. That means winning and fun.
Oh, yeah. We have tailgate buffets for all of our watch parties. The 3 apps for $12 special. $25 Miller Lite buckets.
And don't forget the crab legs. That's extended through September.
So reserve a table at HollywoodColumbus.com.
And how about this for new members? Sign up for the rewards program on the Penn Play app. Get a $20 dining credit.
Then you get more crab legs.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, crab legs.
Crab leg problem? Call 1-800-CRAB-LEGS.
He opens his toolbox before he opens his wallet and believes you can fix anything with 20 minutes and some pride. He's Mr. DIY. Then when he needs metal, he goes to metal supermarkets. Artists, hobbyists, machine shops, maintenance professionals, and welders all count on metal supermarkets for over 8,000 metal products, shapes, and grades. If it's metal, they've got it or can get it for you. Cut to any size and ready fast. Visit the family-owned franchise on North Wilson Road or Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Airflow Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Our top men are working on everything except this show.
We have top men working on it right now. Who? Top men.
You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
It's universally accepted now. It's really not up for debate that college football is the second most popular sport in this country. It's not close. What they deliver on a week-to-week basis is just absolutely staggering. It's crazy what's happened in the last 25 years, but it's even more amazing even in the last 5. College football ratings so far this year, a month into the season, up 19% year to year in what was already the fastest-growing sport that you are consuming, up 19% year to year, up 36% in the last 5 years. You could make in fact, I don't even think it's an argument. These schools need more for their television revenue. They need more from their television partners. They should demand more, and they will, because everything's up in 2030 except the ACC. They will demand more, and they'll get more, because they ought to be getting a cut more similarly. Quite honestly, most of these conferences should be getting a cut. Certainly the Big Ten and the SEC should be getting a cut that is more commensurate with what the NBA makes or Major League Baseball. Like, that's what that number should be per team is where they need to be. And that'll be something that I'm sure will happen in a couple of years. So that is very positive for the sport that we talk about the most and love the most. This, I think, is a little troubling if I were running the Big Ten. So headliners Saturday, 2 heavyweight fights, both in the same windows. Bama, Georgia on ABC, 10.4. Oregon, Penn State on NBC, 8.8. So 2 deep South programs, albeit college football powerhouses over the last 15 years. Nevertheless, though, 10.4. Oregon, Penn State, 8.8. And you say, well, Oregon's still nouveau riche. Like, Penn State doesn't have all. Okay, fine. Well, let's do the afternoon window. 3:30, ABC. LSU, Ole Miss, 6.7. Buckeyes, Washington, 5.2. Folks, you can't get more regional than LSU, Ole Miss. You can't. So how did this happen? How did we get to this point? And this is probably the cruelest twist of all from how this all happened. Disney, who now owns the rights to the SEC, basically watched for 25 years as one of their competitors at CBS told you every Saturday at 3:30, this is the best game of the week. And what that did is it made the most regional conference in this country the most national conference in this country. And it made you, not necessarily here, but nationally, it made the collective you nationally, when you see these brands you associate greatness. And all of a sudden, if you're out west, not only do you know who LSU and Ole Miss are, you want to watch it. You want to watch it. And I really think that's a big part of what's happening here. Because 20 years ago, there is no chance in hell LSU Ole Miss could have more viewers than anything involving Ohio State.
I thought the most damning thing from the numbers this past week was that Florida State, Virginia did just a hair better than USC, Illinois. Like, they did a 4-4 on a Friday night.
Yeah.
And USC, Illinois did a 4-1. That, to me, was like, it's not great, guys. At big noon, USC, Illinois.
You're right. Versus an ESPN. So Fox National versus ESPN. And the ESPN, that's a good job out of you to pick up on that, Reese. Well done. This is also why we're playing at noon every week. Or as much as we can.
I also
basically Fox basically has two things that they can put at noon and rate, and it's Ohio State and Michigan.
Why I get so mad about Penn State, I think, is a lot of because of this.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand James Franklin saying the whiteout's not the same, and he's right, and he should be right, and he should defend that with every ounce of his being. But come on, Penn State.
Yeah. Give us a hand, man.
Nope.
I think your point, Bo, about the whole country knows Alabama, Georgia, and LSU because the 3:30 for years is ingrained with CBS, and it was linear television back when linear television mattered and all of that. I think the other thing, there's a couple things in here. Oregon and Washington are also very regional, and they haven't been built up yet to be something that the East Coast would want to watch. And then, two, the Big Ten, you keep telling us your big games are at noon. So if you're looking for a big Big Ten game and you're just a casual fan, you're probably looking at noon. And not 3:30, not 7 o'clock. And
yeah, I think some of that is true. I certainly think the Washington-Oregon thing is true from the standpoint of that previous conference that they were in failed so miserably, just so miserably. Because Oregon's been a top 5 program in college football for, I don't know, at least 15 years. They have been. For sure. And Washington is in, I mean, like these are in, one of them is in Eugene, which is a stone's throw from Portland, and the other one is in Seattle. Like, these are major metropolitan areas. Like, this ain't Oxford, man. I mean, that's a real one. And so I think that, like, what CBS did with the help of ESPN all those years to build up that conference. And the crazy thing about it, and this is the thing that's the bitter pill, I think, to swallow for us, and it doesn't affect us. Ohio State's fine. But what I think is a bitter pill to swallow is the Big Ten's the better league now. It's the better league at the top. You have more teams. I mean, you just won the last 2 national titles. It looks like if you give me the Big Ten or the field, you give me Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State versus the SEC, I'll take those teams. I'll take them. But all of this, that's troubling to me when I see those numbers. LSU Ole Miss beating Ohio State Washington is by 1.5 million nationally is crazy to me. Hard to wrap your head around. PJ Fleck had his availability on Monday in Minnesota. Which one of these is more entertaining, him on the Buckeye defense or him on Jeremiah Smith?
I think probably the defense.
Okay, let's listen to PJ.
They're really, really good at understanding how it all works. You can see how the front 7 understand how the back end works. The back end understands how the front 7 works. They work cohesively together. They're relentless. I mean, those 4 guys up front, I mean, they get into double eagle packages, and they are straight up the field. I mean, Coach Johnson coaching that D-line, I mean, they're coming after the quarterback. And if the run happens to get in the way, they'll tackle the run. But they're coming after him. And they're relentless in their pursuit. They're really good tacklers. They're smart. Coach Patricia does a really good job of always keeping you guessing something different almost every single play. And it has that little bit of that. It has a lot of that NFL feel to it. Every time you're at the line of scrimmage, it's a different front, it's a different coverage. It's very challenging. They don't allow you to ever get into a rhythm because you're getting something different constantly, and they're really good at it. A lot of people are afraid to do that because that's hard to be good at a lot of different things, but they have such good players, really good coaches that they can do that, and they're very good at it.
Here's what I want you guys to think about in the break. Do you think that he meant to have the shirt unbuttoned that low? And then I want your answers on the other side of it. We'll do a little higher, lower coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Bobby Carpenter demands that you watch Morning Juice on YouTube. If you don't, Tito will move into your house.
Live at 6 a.m. on YouTube and streaming on the Fan app.
Buckeye fans, introducing Behind the O, the brand new app packed with original athlete and fan-driven Ohio State sports content. It's free to download in the App Store on iOS and Android, and every time you open it, you're helping generate NIL dollars for your favorite Buckeye athletes with zero cost to you. Get exclusive access to fresh behind-the-scenes videos, training routines, athlete lifestyles, and more from every Ohio State sport. Don't wait. Download Behind the O now and get closer to your Buckeyes than ever before.
Behind the O, free for fans, NIL for athletes.
The number one problem we see at our clinic is delaying treatment. ED and low T can get worse.
Book your appointment right now. Call 614-300-7400. Prefer privacy? Book online in under 30 seconds at columbusmensclinic.com.
At our clinics, men's sexual health is the whole job. Look, I'm a normal guy too. I hate going to the doctor, but we've helped so many guys in here just like you. Even if pills have failed, our medical team is going to take the time to talk you through it. Same day in-house lab, and the treatments, well, they could change your life.
Your local medical team has your back. ED, low T, Peyronie's, size, and shape modeling. We tailor what works for you.
I'll get to the point. Can you imagine epic workouts and epic sex? Yeah, I said it.
A stronger you is closer than you think. We're available right now. Call 614-300-7400 or book in 30 seconds or less at columbusmensclinic.com. Columbus Men's Clinic. Making it happen.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT and cybersecurity? Attend classes live, online, or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
2 blockbuster game shows, 1 jackpot-sized night. Fox Tonight, the floor is back with a Stars and Stripes showdown.
I'm Rob Lowe, and it's a state against state battle.
Then,
84 players remain.
Ken Jeong and Aaron Andrews host the new $1 Million game show, where the games look simple.
Players must catch potatoes with a fork.
Until the pressure's on.
Know what it's like to unfreeze a pair of pants?
To win the $1 million, they've got 99 to beat.
Tonight, starting at 8 on Fox 28.
At the end of the day, the sun sets on Central Ohio, but stories are still unfolding. Every voice, every neighborhood, every question that still needs answers. Fox 28 News at 10 is there in the quiet moments and at the turning points, digging deeper, finding solutions, lifting up the communities that shape who we are. At the end of the day, you deserve a team that's on your side. Fox 28 News at 10, always on your side.
You've heard about the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Yeah, that's an old one. My dad told that one to me. But when it's your real feet, it's not a game. It's awful. Hey, it's Anthony. I had pain in my feet and my lower back, so I went to the Good Feet store and got the support I needed in my shoes that changed the game for me. I went in and they personally fit me for arch supports that would be perfect for my feet. The fitting process is simple. They ask the right questions about exactly what I was experiencing and the lifestyle I want to be able to live. They professionally measured my feet and arch size, and before I knew it, I was wearing my new arch supports home. Get back to living the life you love with the Good Feet store. For more than 30 years, they've taken great pleasure in helping thousands discover the comfort they've been dreaming of. I'm a customer. I have their 3-step system put into all of my shoes. Get professionally fitted at the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway or Stringtown Road in Grove City. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
America works, and Valley has the tools. Valley is your #1 volume Ford commercial truck dealer in the nation. Business owners choose from 550 new Fords, including 80 Transit vans and 170 Super Duties. Stakes, dumps, box trucks, pickups. Save big at Valley Ford of Columbus with Section 179 tax savings. As Carnell Tate says,
the game-winning deal is always at Valley.
ValleySuperstore.com.
At Kroger Pharmacy, we make it easy to get flu, COVID, and RSV vaccines. They're available at no cost to you with most insurance plans. No appointment needed. And we're open weekdays, weeknights, and weekends. So come and visit us when it's most convenient for you. Kroger Health, a world of care is in store. Vaccines subject to availability. No cost to you with most insurance plans. Check with your plan for eligibility. Restrictions and exclusions may apply. See site for details.
Dormar, your kind of hero. Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Number 1 Ohio State's back at the Shoe Saturday, hosting 3-1 Minnesota. Kickoff for homecoming is 7:30. We'll have that game on the Fan with coverage Saturday starting at noon. Hear from Ohio State's head coach tomorrow at noon on the Ryan Day radio show. In the NFL, the Browns are starting rookie Dylan Gabriel Sunday against the Vikings in London. Joe Flacco is going to serve as the backup quarterback in a game you can hear right here on the Fan Sunday morning with coverage at 8 o'clock. In baseball, both the Guardians and Reds must win on Wednesday in Game 2 of MLB's Wild Card Series. Cleveland hosts Detroit at 1:08 today. Guardians lost to the Tigers 2-1 yesterday, but can force Game 3 tomorrow with a win. Tonight in Los Angeles, the Reds battle the Dodgers at 9:08. Cincinnati fell last night 10-5 in Game 1. This update is sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy's office at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP, or visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
10 feet tall and bulletproof isn't just a saying, it's a way of life. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, second hour here on a First Friday. Still time to get your questions into the fellas at 971-BFS. A little bit of Hey Guys coming up shortly. You can do so in the YouTube chat as well. All right, fellas, answer the question. Was he that far unbuttoned? If you haven't seen it, PJ Fleck did a press conference on Monday in a black suit with a black shirt. I mean, he looked like Night at the Roxbury guy a little bit. And he's missing a button for sure. Was it on purpose?
Yeah, it was intentional. It looked like he just had an event the night before, fell asleep in it, woke up in his office, said, I got to do a press conference.
Nobody does that.
Martin.
Nobody does that on accident.
Yeah, he's 100% aware of everything he's got on at all times.
Well, that is true.
Nobody does that on accident.
That is true for sure. Yeah. Is he? As
and
by
he
the way,
kind of pulled it off.
I don't know. That's up for debate. I can't get into. I'm getting too old to give fashion advice, as my 13-year-old will tell me. But I am curious. I still think like I remember when he took that job because he went from Western Michigan. We're like, is this the best job you can get that will allow you to put an oar on your helmet? Because you can't do that at Michigan.
Won't work at Penn State.
No.
Won't work at. I mean, even in the
Michigan
South, there's
State?
programs. Probably at Michigan State.
Would Michigan State let him put an oar on their helmet?
No, I don't think so. But I would love to see him at a bigger program just to see if it worked and what he could do. There's so many limitations in Minnesota. Yeah. I would just love to see what he could do somewhere bigger.
Nebraska wouldn't.
No, Nebraska would not let him put an oar on the helmet there either. Yeah. All right, time for a little higher lower. Hit it, fellas.
Bishop and Friends present Higher or Lower.
Sponsored by the Waterworks. Call the Waterworks and Header Heating and Cooling today at 614-232-2222 or visit online at thewaterworks.com.
It's week 6 of the college football season.
Sure is.
Ohio State's now a quarter of the way through their schedule, 4-1 through 5 weeks. They enter Saturday's matchup against Minnesota, 24.5-point favorites. The Golden Gophers 3-1 on the season, and I don't think involved in the others receiving votes category for both the AP and the coaches. We'll stick with the AP poll into week 6, with Ohio State getting 46 first-place votes. At number 2, Oregon getting 16 first-place votes. At number 3, Miami, the Hurricanes getting 4 first-place votes despite being idle. At 4, Ole Miss. At 5, Oklahoma. Higher or lower for the Sooners at 5?
I think they got 1, 2, 3 perfect. Then I'm not sure what I want to do with it. So Ole Miss comes up 9 spots to number 4. It's a nice win. It's a nice win against LSU at home. LSU was ranked 4 last week. So it's a nice home win. Your backup quarterback's playing, although now it feels like he's probably going to be the starter. I think I'm okay with it. I think Oklahoma would be – I think we talked about this a little bit last week. They had a bye week last week, and then they get Kent State this week. So kind of like bye week and then glorified scrimmage. And then they get Texas. So I don't know what I would do with Oklahoma if I were a pollster, because they don't have John Mateer, but I don't know what it looks like without John Mateer. Their backup, Michael Hawkins, he's capable. He started 4 or 5 games for him last year. He's capable. And I still think their defense travels, but I want to know what that looks like. I would probably have A&M ahead of Oklahoma, and I think A&M comes in there at 6. So I think Oklahoma's maybe a touch too high. The A&M Ole Miss conversation as the 4th team in the country, I think A&M's probably better talent-wise, but Ole Miss is playing pretty magical right now.
So I believe I would have Oklahoma right in this spot if Mateer was healthy, but he's not right now. So I think you can have an argument that maybe Ole Miss, Texas A&M right now are better than Oklahoma because of no Mateer. In mine, I have Oklahoma 6th in mine, so I have them 1 spot lower.
You said it about the Aggies and Texas A&M, kind of a cult. They're at 6. At 7, Penn State. At Indiana is 8. Texas is 9. Alabama jumps up 7 spots to 10. Higher or lower for the Tide at 10.
All right, let's have a quick discussion here. How would you rank these 3 1-loss teams? Are these the 3? So the other ones that are in this conversation, like LSU's got a loss already, if we want to have them in that mix. So if I give you LSU, Georgia, Bama, Texas, Penn State, what's the order there? I think what I would do is, I don't know. It's weird. I'm more fearful of like Texas getting it right than I am Penn State. And I think Texas has just kind of been in purgatory for a month. Like, it's like they're forgotten. I mean, we have those videos of Arch, those first couple of games after the Ohio State game, just being widely inaccurate, and then he kind of went nuts on Sam Houston State. So, like, I don't know what. It feels to me like Texas, to me, seems more formidable, and the ceiling seems higher than Penn State's. Penn State lost at home. Texas's only loss is here in a competitive game. I would probably have Texas ahead of Penn State, I think.
So, in mine of those teams, I have Texas, Penn State, Bama, LSU, Georgia. And LSU, Georgia have back-to-back. I think you could flip either of those.
Mm-hmm.
At 11, you've got Texas Tech. At 12, you have Georgia. 13, LSU. 14, Iowa State. At 15, Tennessee. At 16, the opponent for the Tide this week, Vanderbilt. Higher or lower for the Commodores at 16?
I mean, Vanderbilt is ranked 16th in the country. So let's take a look at it. Okay, so it's basically because we got to have some SEC team to be ranked is the long and short of it. And I know that Diego Pavi is capable of things, but let's just take a look at what they've done this year that's garnered them this 16th ranking. Basically, they're 5-0 and they're an SEC team, so that's what it is. I don't know why, like, for example, Washington's not ranked. They should be. They should be ranked. This is what Vanderbilt's done. They beat Charleston Southern. Okay, fine. They won at Virginia Tech 44-20. Last I checked, Virginia Tech fired their coach, so it's not going very well for them. Then their third game, they win at South Carolina 31-7. I'm trying to remember if Lenora Sellers played in that game.
I think he got hurt in that game.
Yeah, he did.
And
he was
ended up
6
not
of 7.
playing the second half.
Yeah, he was 6 of 7, and that was it. So he got hurt in that game. So they beat them 31-7. Then they played Georgia State and Utah State. So what is exactly that people see in Vandy that has them being ranked at this spot other than the fact that they're an SEC team? Like, are you sure they're better than Missouri? If you want to stay in the SEC, are you sure?
I think it's because they have a quarterback that's a little known, and they had some upsets last year, right? They beat Bama last year, and people remember that. I was going through this when I did it real quick, and I had them much higher, and then I went through and I dropped them quite a bit. So I think this is too high. Like, if they played Georgia Tech, I think Georgia Tech would beat them. If they played Michigan, I think Michigan would beat them. If they played Utah, I think Utah would beat them. If they played Missouri, you mentioned Missouri. Yeah, Missouri would beat them. So I think Vandy is probably should be down in the 20s, 22 range, somewhere, something like that.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that they ought to be, down. Certainly.
We'll go.
Like Washington isn't even an others receiving vote.
They're not.
That's ridiculous.
After Vanderbilt at 16, you have Georgia Tech at 17. Florida State drops 10 spots to 18. Missouri's up 1 to 19. Michigan at 20. 21, Notre Dame. Higher or lower for the Irish at 21?
I think this is fine. I think it's the sweet spot. I think offensively, like C.J. Carr has played great. And they've got Jordan Love, although he hasn't really taken off the way that you want to. But I think this is fine for Notre Dame to be right around here. And I think this is a good job of the AP, and the coaches did this too, of not penalizing. They lost 2 games to the team that's ranked number 3 and the team that's ranked number 6, both by 1 score. Tight games. So I think they're doing justice with having Notre Dame where they are at 2-2.
I would have Notre Dame a little bit higher, but I'm okay with this. This late teens, early 20s spot for Notre Dame, I think is pretty fair. I think if you do that, if Notre Dame played this team on a neutral field type thing, I think you would see them bump up a little bit. So I would have them at like 18, 19, but I'm okay with this.
We'll round out the top 25. Illinois 22, BYU 23, Virginia 24, Arizona State 25. Higher or lower for the Sun Devils at 25?
They were frisky last week to take care of their business. I mean, TCU came in there ready to go, and they ended up rallying in the second half to get the win 27-24. Their only loss is at Mississippi State. Last 2 times out, they beat a pretty good Baylor team 27-24, although that Baylor team's not as good as I thought it was going to be at the start of the season. And then TCU, they won 27-24. They are at Utah. They're off this week, and then they're at Utah. That's a 10:15 ESPN. Is that a Friday night 10:15er? Boy. That's a bit. I'll tell you, the Big 12 is fun, man. It's fun. Utah is still pretty good. Texas Tech is really good. You've got TCU frisky, Baylor frisky, and this Arizona State team. I'm glad they're ranked. I think it's more interesting when they are.
I think that Utah-Arizona State game is fascinating this week. And
that's next week.
Next week. Yeah, next week. That's I feel like the loser of that might be a Big 12 eliminator there. For those 2 teams, and it could be a college football playoff eliminator for both of them as well. I think I would have Arizona State not ranked right now, just out of there because I do think Utah is a little better. I think Washington could probably beat them as well, and those are teams that are out of it. So I think I would have to bump Arizona State out.
Well, speaking of getting bumped, Joe Flacco bumped in Cleveland. Why did the decision happen now? We'll try to make sense of it coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with a team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, loads and no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsrus.com. 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Is there anything better than a college football Saturday? Not if you're at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Join the Fan for watch parties for the games this season. Oh, you got to check out the display case of amazing autographed prizes you can win. It's beautiful. 2 massive TV walls to watch the national champs. Watch and place wagers with over 30 kiosks. Contests, prizes, and live shows. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good. You know the savings are so good. You know the savings are so good. Great cars, great deals, Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good. You know the savings are so good. You know the savings are so good. Great Lakes Hyundai of Dublin. You know the savings are so good. Great Lakes Hyundai of Columbus. Good. GLakesHyundai.com.
More and more these days, people who are in pain are trying to take control of their health. They want to look beyond the traditional medicine of going to just a normal doctor. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. People just like you and me are finding lasting relief without steroids, medication, surgery, right here in Columbus, Ohio at QC Kinetics. You'll be treated by the highly regarded orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Ray Tesner, founder of Grant Sports Medicine. Here's how it works. Your blood contains many tiny but mighty healing tools. At QC Kinetics, Dr. Tesner and his team will get to the root of where your pain stems from, right down to the cells that are involved. By putting these natural elements to work, your body, it can revitalize your joints, literally using your own body's biologics to heal you. It's a simple injection, not a hospital stay, no drugs. It's fast, all natural, and there's no downtime. So if it's knees, backs, hips, whatever it may be, give QC Kinetics a call for your free consultation. 380-208-4544, 380-208-4544, QCkinetics.com/Columbus.
Hey, it's Timmy Hall. Looky here, guys. The Grove City Smoking Hot Wing and Music Fest is back for year 3, Saturday, October 4th at American Nitro. I'm excited. We're talking cold beer, killer wings, live music all day, football on the big screen. It all supports Ghosts of War, helping veterans in need. So veterans and military, you're in free, baby. Get your tickets at americannitro.com/wingfest. Brought to you by The Fan, Columbus Chamber, Martin Painting, T-Mobile, and Greenscapes. Wingfest, flavor, fun, and football. What more do you need?
Can't get enough of your favorite fan content? Good news, we're on all the digitals. Follow 971 The Fan on X, Facebook, YouTube, The Talk, and Gram. Your digital home for endless shenanigans. The Fan.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating. You're overwhelmed. You might not be big on technology, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Maybe you've gone through a divorce or a bad breakup, or a relative moved out. It's been hard, and you just want to take what you want and leave the rest behind. I will help you. Retiring and want to sell your commercial properties or land. I will help you. Sellers, whether you're selling as is or selling for top dollar, you're no longer alone. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Another summer day ahead with daytime highs topping out in the low 80s and bluebird skies with plenty of sun. For tonight, a few more clouds in our lows, getting down into the upper 40s to low 50s. But then for Thursday, we'll see partly sunny skies and highs right around 80 degrees. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Matty Ice is currently bathing himself in creamy jalapeno dip. And I've officially run out of ways to tease this show. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan. The perfect show for quarter zips and khaki shorts. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Indeed you are, and we are proudly sponsored and brought to you by our great friends at Diamond Cellar, your true jeweler for nearly 8 decades. They're as good as it gets, kids. Buckeye Jewelry starting at just $99. Go see them at one of the 2 locations that you know so well. It's funny when I sent the prep for this segment we put in here. Could the Browns move to Gabriel before London? Yes,
they could.
As it turns out, they could. They announced it this morning that Dylan Gabriel would be starting this week against Minnesota, and my hunch is until he is either injured or ineffective, those are going to be the two barometers for him. His job going forward, in my opinion, will be to be the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns and not allow for anybody else to get a chance. If he plays well enough, that's all you need to see. Here's why they love Dylan Gabriel in the draft. Dylan Gabriel is an elite processor. He is an elite preparer. There will be nothing that happens Sunday that Minnesota throws at him that he won't be prepared for. Will he execute it? That we don't know. He's the first ever starting quarterback making his first start in NFL history overseas. That's never happened before. So he will be. This is going to be kind of a new one for everybody. If it was between this one or at Pittsburgh next week, I would choose this one. This is going to be far less hostile of a spot. At the same time, he's a pro. And we don't need to have kid gloves. This kid, he started 60 games in his college career through UCF and Oklahoma and then last season at Oregon. The reality is, if Dillon Gabriel were 6'2", 6'3", he might have been the first pick in this draft. He's not, and that's the reason that he isn't. But he's always been this height. I think the reason that this happened now is because they are not good up front right now. At the tackle position, it's essentially a swinging gate. And Joe Flacco is a 40-plus-year-old man who does not have the wheels to get that extra millisecond that you need to deliver the football. They can't boot him out the way that they even could 2 years ago. All of those things have come home to roost a little bit because, Father Time is undefeated. And so what Gabriel will allow them to do is move the pocket, create more time for him to make throws, and I think it was a move that ended up being a necessity, that in order for this team to find something offensively, they had to have a quarterback with a little bit more mobility, and Gabriel provides that in a very, very big way. He's an incredibly likable dude. You're going to like him a lot. He's from the second they drafted him, you're like, oh, that's what a starting quarterback sounds like. That's what it sounds like. How does it execute? What does it look like? We're going to find out on Sunday. But I think that's the reason that this decision was made when it was made.
I do think based off of the audience you're talking to, there aren't going to be a whole lot of people surprised that this move was made for a player like Dillon Gabriel to start in the NFL, because Ohio State fans saw him last year at Oregon. Ohio State fans have been paying attention to a winner in college football since he was at UCF. And I even think for Browns fans, this makes the most sense. You drafted him in the third round, so they had high expectations for him coming out of college. And now this feels, based off of the questions we had going into the season of all 32 NFL teams, the one for the Browns was, see if you've got the guy of the future on your roster right now. And this is just the most logical next step to figuring that out. Now, to your point about how Gabriel plays, he's going to do, I think, as much as he can to make sure that he is the 41st starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns since returning in 99, and there is no 42, at least until next season. And I think that's
the job.
That's the best case scenario right now for this Cleveland team, because if he doesn't, then you can see what Shedeur Sanders offers. And I even think with Flacco being QB3, I almost wonder if we can get to a point where Shedeur can move to QB2.
If he's 41 through the season, that better mean he's through the next couple of seasons, right?
Great.
Because if you don't know that he's not that moving forward, then you've got to give Shedeur some games at the end of the year. If you don't figure out if Dillon Gabriel's the guy or not, I don't want to see Dillon Gabriel. If you don't think he is, if you have questions, I don't want to see him start every game the rest of the year. I want to see Shedeur at least in there and get a chance, whether he's the guy or not. You got to know. Right? And I think most of us feel like he may not be because of things that are off the field, maybe not on the field, because it seems like he's got some talent on the field. But if you're not convinced 4 weeks left in the season that Dillon Gabriel's your guy moving forward, you've got to see Shedeur play some this year. For me, I get all the reasonings. We've got a great defense. We've got these older guys. We want to make sure they know we're playing to win and yada, yada. To me, I don't understand why this took so long. I don't understand why Dillon Gabriel wasn't the guy from the rip, but I'm also the guy who didn't believe in this Browns team, that they were a team that could win more than 6 or 7 games this year. So what if you lose 5 with this rookie kid? At least you're learning what you got with him.
I think you answered your own question in why they started Flacco to begin with. And I do think it was because at that moment he gave them the best chance to win, and the veterans on this team love Flacco. His leadership, all of it. They loved all of it. But a lot has changed now to when he was great for them in 2023. They don't have that type of protection that they had in 2023. The interior of this offensive line is 2 years older than it was in 2023. And the biggest difference is you don't have Apex Amari Cooper, who was a borderline all-pro receiver, anymore. You don't have somebody like that type of weapon. So I think all of those things factor in it, and then you add 2 more years of aging for Joe, and that's how you get what you get. The Shedeur part of this is something Gabriel deserves a lot of credit for, because certainly it was not their intent, and ownership up there said that. Their intent was not to draft a second quarterback in this draft. This was supposed to be Dylan Gabriel was the quarterback that we wanted outside of Cam Ward. It's my belief that Cam Ward would have been the quarterback they would have picked had they been able to. They couldn't, so they pivoted. The quarterback they liked second most in the entire draft was Dylan Gabriel. And all that Dylan Gabriel has heard for 6 months since he's been drafted is Shedeur, 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 Shedeur. One time after another. More Shedeur, more Shedeur, more Shedeur. Gabriel's has said nothing. Nothing. He's just been a pro. He just handled it. Hasn't let it become a distraction. When he got chances to play, was incredibly effective. The growth that he showed from the start of camp, and I was there for all of it, from the start of camp to the preseason games, when he got to play, was exponential. And I think he will be very comfortable running this offense. I do think you're right, Bake, and the reason I think you're right is because ownership said it. We want to get a look at these two guys. So Gabriel's mentality should be, I'm the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, not just for the rest of this year, but for the foreseeable future. I'm their Brock Purdy. I'm their Kirk Cousins. I'm their Jalen Hurts. That's his mentality. Has got to be that. And if he is, you win the lottery. That's a lottery ticket. If that happened. If Shedeur becomes that, then he's the lottery ticket. When you're drafting a guy in the 3rd and the 5th round, that's what those are. They're lottery tickets. And I do think Gabriel deserves a lot of credit for the way he's handled being in a quarterback room that had Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, him, and Shedeur Sanders for much of the offseason.
I'll also say to Gabriel, you got to give him a lot of credit, but I wasn't surprised at all that was not a challenge for him. Like, go in, handle your business, be a professional, because he's only been a pro throughout his entire college career. I'm interested now to see if does Cincinnati make a call?
Yes, a gently used Joe Flacco.
Hey.
Would you like him?
He got a ton of miles on him, but he can throw the ball down the field. Well, maybe.
Did you guys, I brought that up yesterday thinking to myself, like, what place would make sense? But did you guys see, and I know we got a little time for this. I was unaware of this, but so I've had a lot of people say, why did the Bengals not pivot at quarterback once the Burrow injury happens? Well, here's why they didn't pivot. The last time that Jake Browning played football in the NFL was 2023. This is what he did in 7 starts. He had a 4-3 quarterback record. He completed 70.4% of his passes, 1,936 yards, 12 touchdowns, 7 picks. That's why they didn't make a change. It's possible in Cincinnati that the Bengals are just 2 years worse than they were in 23 the last time Burrow got hurt. That's why they didn't do it. If you have that sitting on the bench, he's been in your system for 3 years, why would you need to go anywhere else? That's A+ backup quarterback work there.
So maybe Shedeur is the move for Cincinnati.
It's all in play. Jake Trotter will have some thoughts on this. We'll get them from him in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My good friends over at Sleep Better Columbus want you to know that if you're 65 or older, enjoying those golden years, but maybe you're dealing with restless nights, you need to listen up. Are you tossing and turning, struggling with sleep apnea, and that leaves you wiped out during the day? Well, it's time to reclaim your rest with Dr. Mark Levy at Sleep Better Columbus. As a leading provider in non-surgical sleep apnea treatments, Dr. Levy helps you breathe easier and sleep deeper with custom oral appliances, a comfortable alternative to CPAP. The best part is that Sleep Better Columbus is in network with most medical insurance plans and is a proud Medicare provider, so your coverage can work seamlessly with Sleep Better Columbus. And as we head toward the end of the year, don't let those benefits go unused. You don't want to wait to use your deductible. Act now to make the most of it with Sleep Better Columbus. Call Sleep Better Columbus today at 800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that number, 800-MORE-SLEEP or sleepbettercolumbus.com for your consultation. Sleep better, live better. You've earned it.
Listen up.
Y'all know what time it is.
Abbott Elementary returns.
Miss Shementi will no longer be teaching second grade. She'll be moving up to teach middle school math in homeroom.
New year.
Preteens are very different than second graders. Every day is like an episode of Scared Straight. What?
Same Abbott.
We live in a post-truth landscape, and these kids hit below the belt, which is where you haven't been touched in years.
Abbott Elementary season premiere.
Tonight at 8:30 on ABC6.
Good morning, Columbus. It's going to be a good day, and it's going to be big. With the biggest morning news team in Central Ohio, Good Day Columbus. The biggest news, weather, and traffic in town every day. Bringing you over 5 hours of breaking news, live reports, and continuing coverage, and stories that'll make you smile. First Morning Weather gets you ready for the day ahead, and Steer Clear Team Traffic will get you to work on time. Good Day Columbus, weekday mornings on ABC6. It's going to be a good day.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Let me introduce you to a man with a magnificent salt and pepper beard. A man who's currently roasting lamb on a spit. A man who runs the Rocky River Greek Festival. That man is Jake Trotter.
And he joins on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Typically, Jake and I talk college football in these spaces, but we have a quarterback change up in Cleveland, and you certainly do. You've been on that beat for a long time, or were on that beat for a long time, and you still do a lot around that operation. What do you make of the timing of Flacco to Gabriel, my friend?
Yeah, I thought it had to be done, Bo. I mean, this offense was going nowhere fast with Flacco at quarterback. It just hasn't worked so far, has not resembled what the Browns caught in 2023 when Flacco was leading the NFL and passing over his 5 games. I mean, they're just not converting any big plays downfield, and he leads the NFL in turnovers. And I just think given the, limitations they have offensively, especially with the way that the offensive line, is having trouble protecting the 2 backup tackles, Gabriel, has the chance to give you a spark. And I think he can move around a little bit outside the pocket, which should help. I have no idea if he's going to be the answer or not. And this is a tough spot. Going away from home against Brian Flores, who's probably going to have all kinds of blitzes dialed up for him. But, I don't know that there was a good spot to make the change. No. I mean, you go to Pittsburgh next week, that's not ideal. And listen, I mean, if you're going to have any chance to compete this season, you got to do something to jumpstart the offense.
You covered a couple of his games last year when he was at Oregon, obviously, and you're very familiar with the Oklahoma program, as it's your home state. What can you give us on him other than what we see on the field?
Well, I mean, he's played a ton of football. He started games at Central Florida, Oklahoma, Oregon, has played in a lot of big games. And, like some of the quarterbacks we've seen come in and succeed right away, like Jane Daniels at Washington, very experienced player coming out of college. He's not big. Everybody knows that. He's 5'11", maybe. Yeah. I think you've probably seen him up close and firsthand. He's not a big guy. He's not tall, but he's also not very big either. But he has a lot of, pop to his game. Has great timing, both in his, his dropbacks and, when he's throwing the ball, his great touch. Buckeye fans will remember that from last year's game at Oregon. I mean, he torched them for 3, 4, 5, big plays downfield with the pass. And I think that, he has a chance to really be a nice and probably better fit in the offense that Kevin Stefanski wants to run, which is predicated on play action, rolling out, delivering the ball on time accurately. Like, he can do all those things. We'll see about the durability and whether he can hang in the pocket. Given his size at the NFL level, I think that was the reason why people were surprised he went in the 3rd round. But again, like, you just got to try something at this point. Like, you have the worst offense in the NFL maybe, and you got to do something else to keep everybody engaged, I think, because right now it's not even that the offense can't move the ball. It's incredibly dull to watch right now. And, you got to keep the defense engaged. And I think at some point, what happened last year where the defense kind of spit the bit when the offense had no shot, like that was, potentially going to happen again. So we'll see if this gives them a spark, but they had to try.
Yeah. Were you in State College?
I was.
So I was talking to a buddy of mine, Penn State alumnus, last night, and he said it was the biggest game at Penn State since the 14 Ohio State game, which ironically enough ended in double overtime. What's the state of that fan base and that program after another result like that, where they played well? I mean, they fought, they came back, but the result's the result.
Yeah, I don't know if they played well. They played well in the fourth quarter offensively. They didn't do anything before that. I think there's almost a resignation that, like, they're just not going to win these type of games because they don't. I mean, they're 1-18 in the Big Ten under James Franklin against top 10 opponents. That's crazy. That number is not a coincidence. It's not a fluke. It's just, even Franklin said it. It's factual. It's the trend. It's what Penn State does in these big games. They just don't win them. And I mean, I didn't understand the game plan offensively. And, I'm starting to wonder, and maybe I should have wondered this earlier, like Colton Ecke, the offensive coordinator, came from Kansas, kind of gimmicky, a lot of like different, looks, playing different people at quarterback. And, like you're running reverses and double passes and all kinds of direct steps, all that stuff. They come out doing that, and they basically just squander the entire first quarter with that kind of nonsense. And then, you never were able to get your rhythm offensively. You couldn't get your quarterback in rhythm at all until the fourth quarter. And I thought the biggest mistake is they just didn't establish the running game. Like, you've supposedly got the best running back duo in the country, Nicholas Singleton and Katron Allen, and like you didn't try to establish the line of scrimmage with them at all. I would have rather them see them, hand the ball off 3 times and punt their first 3 drives than do what they did, where they're just doing goofy stuff and losing yards and, taking the ball out of their best players' hands. I hated all of it. And I think it really set the tone for them offensively, where it felt like they were constantly in 3rd and 9. And it just kind of gets back to the MO with Penn State is they just cannot, bring their best in these type of games. And the defense gave them a chance, but you can't not play offense for like the first 3.5 quarters and expect to beat a team like Oregon.
No. Tyvis and I tried to tell you.
I can't.
We tried.
I know. I'm on your side of it. Like, and you can't pick them to win a game. Like, you can't pick them to win November 1st. You can't pick them to beat Indiana. Like, they're just not. They just don't win these games, and until they start winning them, it is what it is. And
and Jake, here's the other thing that's crazy about them. Like,
with the head coach,
for sure it does. And here's the thing that really sucks for them. Like, Bo Prabula at Mizzou is playing lights out. Like, Will Levis goes to Kentucky and plays himself into being a second-round pick. Like, and then you watch Aller play, and I remember people up in Cleveland being like clamoring for Aller in the first round last year. How do you feel about it now?
Yeah, and listen, he is not.
It's not all on him, but
it's not all on him. He has not played well at all this season. Like, he wasn't really playing well coming into this game. And listen, some of it is on him, but I just don't think they're putting him in position to succeed, and they're maximizing his skill set. And I felt like that last year a little bit, despite the year that they had. It was like, I go back to the Big Ten championship game. Again, it's like they do, they put Tyler Warren at quarterback. They put Prabilla at quarterback. They're like 3rd and 14 because, they'll have like a false start because they don't have their normal offense on the field. And then Drew Aller's got to bail him out. And he did play well in that game and almost did it. And now this year, it's just, I don't know what this offense is. It's horrible to watch. And, maybe you have to do that stuff at Kansas to compete with Oklahoma and Texas, when they were all in the Big 12 together. Mm-hmm. Like, you're at Penn State. Like, you have a talent advantage over almost everyone except maybe 1 or 2 teams. And yet it's like just gimmick central. Every time they play a big game. I mean, you agree? Like, you watch them, you agree with what I'm saying?
Clown show.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't understand it. And like go back to Ohio State, Texas. Like, were they doing anything stupid in that game offensively? No, they let their defense win the game, and they finally, they made enough plays offensively. And Penn State, they finally started to just let Aller do his thing in the fourth quarter, and it looked better. But my goodness, it just. I can't even imagine what it must feel like to be a Penn State fan. I would have lost it so weird. If I were. Yeah.
Yeah. Oregon's really good though.
Dante Moore.
Mm-hmm.
He might be the top quarterback in the 2026 draft class conversation. If he's not there, he is on his way. I know there's still some Lenore Sellers fans out there, and Nussmeier, even though he hasn't played well. Still in that conversation, but who would have thought, like with Arch Manning and Kate Klubnik and everybody else, Drew Aller, that we'd be talking about Dante Moore and Fernando at Indiana and John Mateer, right? It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, our kid's not eligible, otherwise they'd be talking about him too.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let me get you out of here on this one. Was that your first Penn State whiteout of that regard, in terms of that type? Was that your first one ever? And then probably, if not, it was definitely your first one when they played an opponent like that. What did you make of that scene?
Yeah, it was really cool. I was Illinois whiteout last year. I can't even remember. I was at Illinois. I don't think that was the whiteout game. It might have been my first whiteout. The crowd's great no matter what. There. I mean, it's an amazing environment. So many people there. Press box has a little bit to be desired, but
it does.
Their new one is like somehow not even better than the
oh,
old
really?
One. But yeah, it's
the new one isn't even.
No, it's it is. I hope you get there and see it at some point. It's like
I will. Yeah.
Seriously, guys, like this is what you you're spending tens of millions of dollars, and this is what you guys put together. Anyway, but it's always really cool, and just these Big Ten stadiums, whether it's Ohio State, Michigan, or Penn State, it's just amazing when you get 100,000+ people.
Yeah, it is. And I always feel like I want Penn State to be better than Penn State wants Penn State to be, is kind of the way I always feel when I'm over there, because I just think that there's more to it than what you get with Franklin. Great chat as always, buddy. Appreciate your time. We'll do it again next week.
All right, Dylan Gabriel. We'll see what happens.
Yes, we will. There he goes. Jake Trotter, senior college football writer at ESPN, joining us on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We'll do a little thing or not a thing up next. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone here for Window Nation. Columbus, October is here, and with good weather comes more home improvement projects. Do you have old, stuck, or cracked windows that you've been putting off replacing? Well, Window Nation Columbus can help. This month, when you buy 2 windows, you'll get 2 more for free. There's no limit to how many windows you replace, and your total price includes 1-day installation. With Window Nation, you also won't have to make any payments for 2 years, which is a big deal with the holiday season coming up. And did I mention you could celebrate your newly upgraded home with 2 free tickets to an upcoming Ohio State football game? What other company in Columbus would thank you for replacing all your windows in your home with a fun experience like that? Put an end to your window problems before this beautiful fall weather ends. Now through October 31st, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free now, plus pay nothing for 2 years with Window Nation, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Visit windownation.com today to start your free estimate. That's windownation.com.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Don't miss the Right Rug Flooring Outlet Super Sale. Save up to 80% on truckloads of floors and more, including tiles starting at 19 cents a square foot, and a massive selection of carpet, luxury vinyl, laminate, and hardwood, even installation supplies. Everything you need for your next project. Save up to 80% during the Right Rug Flooring Outlet Super Sale on Poth Road in Whitehall. Hurry, the Outlet Super Sale ends September 30th. Dealers welcome.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and a multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life. There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Other stations in town have started using AI voices. It's because they're cheap and they think you're stupid. Well, we may think you're stupid, but we don't think you're cheap, damn it. We're live and local with real people. The Fan, Ohio's real human destination.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven. I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. When General Sherman marched through Georgia, he was listening to this show.
Use your skills for good, young warrior.
This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a first Friday. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Friend of the program, Amanda Kristovich, reported Tuesday that the College Sports Commission is creating an anonymous reporting tip line to share information about NIL rules violations across Division I college sports. Those in the NIL space are calling it a snitch line. Of course, we know that the College Sports Commission was established this summer to enforce the new rules of the House versus NCAA settlement. They came up with a thing called NIL Go, which is that clearinghouse where athletes must report all NIL deals worth $600 or more. It's to ensure that NIL deals are being offered at a fair market value for a valid business purpose rather than being used as pay for play. Amanda's reporting also revealed that NIL Go only has 4 full-time employees to manually scrutinize every deal. A CSC spokesperson said more information would be available about the tip line in the coming weeks. Thing or not a thing?
Oh, my God. Okay. When you guys were kids and you'd, like, on local television, would they have, like, the Crime Stoppers tip line?
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys remember that? Like, Crime Stoppers?
Yep.
Like, whatever that number. Like, every city had it. This is the 80s, man. Or in Reese's case, the 90s. The NCAA still thinks it's like 1988. And then their answer to their genius tip line, which all anyone ought to do is just prank it over and over and over again. But their answer to the genius tip line is, we're going to have 4 bozos in a room answering questions, looking into things. Okay. Good luck with that, dummies. God, they're bozos. One stupid half measure after another. This isn't even a half measure. This is a tenth of a measure.
They got like John Walsh and McGruff the crime dog and, you know.
McGruff.
Definitely McGruff, especially on a poster in that room.
Where is McGruff?
Gracious.
Is he around? Is McGruff the crime dog around still?
I don't think he's been around since the 90s. Maybe even
Maybe
before.
longer.
I love that they're leaning into this, though, and it's a snitch line. that people are calling it. Like, what are we doing here? Like, this reeks of like Connor Stallions calling in all these tips, just trying to get people in trouble because he got in trouble. This is just, I don't know. Like, tell me you're unprofessional without telling me you're unprofessional.
So McGruff the crime dog, debuted in July of 1980. He proved a successful campaign, over 100 million in free airtime donated in the first year, reaching over 50% of adults. Continued over the years from 1982 to 2012. A number of municipalities participated in the McGruff House program, which offered temporary haven to children fearing immediate harm. That's awesome. Well recognized. 9 out of 10 people recognize him in a 2021 survey. I guess he's still in the mix. He's a bloodhound. Is the breed on McGruff?
Oh yeah, they've made him 3D. You can see McGruff.org.
Oh, he's there
for his most recent escapades.
Yeah, I like that guy.
There's games you can play with him, but yeah.
When the phone rings, like what crime show or police detective theme song does the phone ring as?
Oh, that's easy. It's the CSI with the sunglasses going down. That's a Who song, right? Is that what they did?
Yeah, I believe so.
CSI Miami, it's a Who song, and then the sunglasses come down. That's it. That's the one you want. Either that or Forgetting Sarah Marshall on the Fake Show with Billy Baldwin, like that one. I could use that too. Either one of those works.
For some reason, I thought of the Austin Powers theme song when like you're on hold with them.
That would work too.
Just waiting to be a snitch.
Or yakety sax. That'd be good.
That quarterback at Michigan. What's his name? Under something? Yeah, I think he's up to something. I don't think that $10.5 million is legit.
Jeez, what a bunch of bozos.
You've probably seen the video, but in case you missed it last week, 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh was asked about the Jacksonville Jaguars under first-year head coach Liam Cohen.
Liam and his staff, coming from a couple of guys coming from Minnesota, they've got legally a really advanced signal stealing type system where they always find a way to put themselves in an advantageous situation. They do a great job with it. They formation you to try to find any nugget they can.
And so you've probably seen the video that these comments sparked after the Jags beat the Niners 26-21, where Cohen went up to Saleh after the game and said, "Keep my name out of your mouth, keep my name out of your effing mouth." And then Saleh retorted back, "I will F your world up." On Monday, Saleh told reporters that he meant no disrespect to Cohen with those previous comments.
Every team does it. Some do it better than others, and it was my way of acknowledging that these guys are really, really, really good at it. And and like I said, Sunday doesn't change that. I think Liam's doing a hell of a job. I really do. You can tell that team is really taking on his personality, and I hope they came out of the game healthy, and I wish him the best of luck throughout the rest of the season. But I wish I could have found a better choice of words, but my intent was always to compliment that staff.
Thing or not a thing?
I'll tell you what's the thing. Like, how far into keep my name out of your mouth, keep my name out of your blanking mouth did Liam Cohen get before he realized who he was saying it to? Because I don't think you want to cross Bob Saleh.
Probably
That's
the second
hunch.
time.
Like, I think probably this... can give me an assistant to keep me off him. I mean, I think you want to evacuate that situation as quickly as possible. I think Cohen annoys me, but I also appreciate what he's doing, and I do think it's working. Like, he is a very cocksure individual, and he is absolutely, his team is starting to buy into that. So I think that part is working, but this is how I thought that he just heard it wrong originally, because there was nothing inflammatory about Saleh's statement.
Could we get this maybe on the undercard of John Rocker and Pat Mahomes' dad? The next Jake Paul fight?
There you go.
I'm just saying. Think this could be a good one.
10 seconds in via knockout.
Cohen's going to have to bring his defensive coordinator so you could do like a tag team match.
I mean, if Adrian Peterson and Le'Veon Bell can do it, why not?
Are they ever?
Guys?
Is that ever going to happen? Bell Peterson?
It already happened.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Le'Veon knocked him out cold.
Sure.
I thought
Central Ohio.
Le'Veon knocked someone out. I thought it was Peterson. Maybe not.
Take that, Jake Trotter.
For the 15th year in a row, we're arguing about PFF grades online. According to PFF Detroit Lions offensive tackle Penei Sewell is first in overall grade among tackles. He's the first in run blocking among offensive tackles. He's allowed 1 quarterback hit, 0 sacks given up, and just 3 pressures allowed. Thing or not a thing?
Well, it's a massive thing. And it's also like, it's amazing that there was a lot of dialogue around Jamar Chase or Penei Sewell. And I remember Three saying as when he played in the NFL, he never prepared for an offensive tackle. There was never a game plan for an offensive tackle. Like, so give me the weapons all the time. So it's one of those ones, though, where it seems like both win. The Bengals won in that they got the ultimate weapon in Chase, and the Lions win in that it appears that they have like a Joe Thomas-esque left tackle.
What's crazy is the Lions may have the best tackle in football, and he's just 24 years old, so they may have him for the next 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy that you went back and forth on that pick with the Bengals at the time. Should they draft this guy? Should they draft this guy? And both of them have turned out to be Pro Bowl level, best type player at their position. I do wonder, it makes me wonder, like the Bengals with Burrow and Chase have been great, but they would have had a number 1 with Higgins anyway. I wonder if they would have took him, if anything would be different. Probably not. It's going to be one of those great what ifs always in sports, though, how it would have played out with both of them.
I mean, they tried. I could also see how they were gun shy about tackles. I mean, they tried. Jonah Williams, Jackson Carman. I mean, they tried to draft offensive line. It just didn't work for whatever reason. So I think maybe they're a little gun shy with it a little bit. All right, final hour of the program coming up next here on a First Friday. Still have some time to get your questions in at 971BFS on the Twitter or the X platform and in the YouTube chat as well. That is coming up next. Scott Dochterman coming up at 11:30 around the Big Ten. You're officially endorsed. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you're a sports card fan like me, you've got to check out Midwest Cards in the Arena District, right outside Nationwide Arena. These guys are true collectors themselves, and they've built a shop that lets you experience card collecting in a whole new way. They've got sealed boxes, packs, single cards, signed memorabilia, and plenty of TVs in their lounge. Yeah, they have a lounge. And don't forget the card bar, where you can open packs while you have an adult beverage. It's awesome. Stop by Midwest Cards today and tell them T-Bone sent you.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
With business banking, Tel Ohio Credit Union takes it personally. That's why they are the #1 SBA lender among Ohio credit unions. You are a member, not a number. That's the Tel Ohio difference. Visit telhio.org/business.
Certain restrictions apply. Tel Ohio is open to all in Central and Southwestern Ohio. Federally insured by NCUA.
Looking to get your roof or siding replaced this fall? Call the company that delivers an excellent customer experience every time. Newman Roofing. Don't wait. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Is there anything better than a college football Saturday? Not if you're at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Join the Fan for watch parties for the games this season. Oh, you got to check out the display case of amazing autographed prizes you can win. It's beautiful. 2 massive TV walls to watch the national champs. Watch and place wagers with over 30 kiosks. Contests, prizes, and live shows. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey guys, do you want male performance in the bedroom and do you want it now? Get it in 47 seconds or less. For the first time, you can have instant male enhancement. Introducing Knox 47, the topical male enhancement that works in 47 seconds or less. Satisfaction guaranteed. Finally, after years of scientific research, our proprietary formula will allow you to perform in the bedroom like never before. Just imagine that little blue pill on steroids. No reason to settle and wait when you can get instant performance now. Forget about pills and potions that make you wait hours or up to 30 days to work. That's yesterday's news. Knox 47 is brand new. the hottest thing for men. And you don't need a prescription. Call now and get your free supply for a limited time.
To find out how to get Knox 47 for free, call now. 800-481-9908. That's 800-481-9908. Free bottles for a limited time. Call 800-481-9908. That's 800-481-9908.
It's the Valley Ford Fall Super Sale. Mustang EcoBoost, Mach-E, Escape Active, Bronco Sport, just $399 a month. F-150 and Explorer models, Bronco Big Bend, Mustang GT, only $499 a month. Lease all with 0 down or buy from a big Ford lineup with 0 down, 0 payments for 90 days, and 0 APR for 48 months, like Carnell Tate says.
The game-winning deal is always at Valley.
Keep on trucking with Valley Ford of Columbus.
All leases 36 months, all offers with approved credit. See Valley for details.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Columbus, the Blue Jackets schedule is out. And you can lock in your seats with ticket plans starting at just 11 games. Don't miss a moment of the action. Visit BlueJackets.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Fresh Tyson Natural Chicken Bone-In Drumsticks, thighs, or wings are on sale. Select varieties or buy one, get 2 free with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
The Reds are on the radio.
Marte back at the track, at the wall. He leaps, and he caught it. Oh, no way. What a grab. Noelvi Marte. He robs Brian Reynolds of a game-tying home run in the ninth.
The Reds have made it to the postseason and are taking on the Dodgers in the wild card round. Hear all the playoff action on your home of the Reds.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Eric Reeser. Since returning to the NFL in 1999, no team started more quarterbacks than the Cleveland Browns. Dylan Gabriel will be the 41st starter this Sunday as the Browns battle the Vikings in London. It'll be a 9:30 a.m. kick from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Joe Flacco is going to serve as the backup. Rookie Shedeur Sanders will be quarterback 3. Here, Browns Vikings on the Fan with coverage Sunday morning at 8 o'clock. Week 5 in the NFL begins tomorrow night with the Rams hosting the 49ers. In college football, number 1 Ohio State hosts Minnesota Saturday night at 7:30. Buckeyes are 24.5-point favorites. Hear from OSU's head coach tomorrow at noon on the Ryan Day Radio Show. And in baseball today, the Guardians host the Tigers at 1:08 in Game 2 of the AL wildcard. Cleveland must win to force Game 3 on Thursday. It's a must-win for the Reds tonight in Game 2 of their NL wildcard series. Cincinnati's at the LA Dodgers at 9:08. You can hear that game right here on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
With friends like these, who needs former college football players? This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, final hour here on a First Friday. Time for a little Hey Guys. Hit it, fellas.
Nothing is off limits. Your participation is required. Just use the hashtag HeyGuys and ask anything you want. Do it now.
Sponsored by High Bank Distillery Co. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank Distillery Co. Learn more at highbankco.com.
Yeah, winner here gets the $50 gift card to our great friends at High Bank, the free distillery tour and the tasting for up to 10. Home of the best blended whiskey in America, 3 years running. It is right here in town. Drink local, drink High Bank.
We got to address something that was sent to us on Twitter at 971BFS. Nick, Hey guys, did you know that today is Ryan Baker's birthday?
No.
Is it?
Is it?
That is correct. Just a Wednesday.
Bad job
right?
at us.
Just a first Friday.
It's a First Friday miracle.
Yeah. Truly a miracle.
Our baby boy's all grown up.
It is a miracle that we've lasted this long. Definitely a miracle.
What was your best birthday as a child?
Oh, I don't know. That's a long time ago. I don't.
Was there like one wish that you were like, thank God, I hope I get this, and then it was delivered?
No, not really. I will say this. The one thing I will always remember, I don't know why I will always, maybe everyone remembers this. I don't know. My first legal drink, 21st birthday, how exciting is this, was in a Carrabba's restaurant in Woodlands, Texas.
Okay.
Do you remember what you had?
Some kind of beer, I'm sure. I don't remember that, but me and my dad used to travel for work back then, and we happened to be down in the Houston area, and that's where we went to dinner that night, and the first legal was at a Carrabba's.
That's incredible.
Are they even around anymore?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're still around. Mine was in the back of a Honda Civic after a day of work at Gart Sports, which was like a Western Dick's Sporting Goods, and I had to drink the beer by the time I got to the house because we were pre-partying to try to get to midnight. Because you remember how you had to pre-party, then you went to the bars at midnight when you were legal, and the objective was to try to be upright by the time you got there. I ended up walking home, 6 miles home at 4 o'clock in the morning. That was my 21st birthday. That was great.
That sounds awesome.
I'm sure it was totally safe. Yeah.
My first legal drink was at Jackie O's in Athens, but I didn't get carded at the door because the door guy was in one of my classes, and we'd been talking about it. He's like, "No, I'm not carding you." I'm like, "All right, thanks, man."
Does anybody card in Athens?
At some of the more refined establishments like Jackie O's, yeah. Except in this instance, when he knew who I was.
That's right.
This is a flex from Sean, who in the YouTube chat says, "Hey guys, currently on vacation and listening while at a rooftop pool in Nice, France. If you had to pick a foreign country to live in, which one would you choose?"
You got to be kidding. I mean, that's...
It is Nice, or two. We're not saying nice France.
Yeah, no, I think you have it right. Okay. The easy answer here is if I had no family considerations, then the easy answer is Australia. I mean, I think I could live in Sydney and thrive. I think I'd do great in Melbourne. I think I'd love Perth. I think Perth would be right up my alley. Everything I'd want. I could do Brisbane, Gold Coast. I feel like it would almost be an apples to apples change and maybe better weather. Now you got murder birds and scorpions and
every animal on that island.
Everything wants to fight you, for sure. I get that, but I think the trade-off would be worth it.
I mean, the first thing I think of is the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, something like that. That'd be pretty nice. And then
Could
maybe
you live there though, Big?
I don't see why not.
Those islands get small.
I don't see why not. I think I could take it. I also think somewhere like Sweden, Norway would be pretty nice. A nice mountain view villa there.
I think you'd thrive in Nordic conditions.
Yeah. Still wearing my shorts and a waffle. That'd be great.
Reese, what's yours?
America. There's no better country.
I know, but that's not it. We got to pick another one.
We got to pick another one?
Yeah.
Gosh. I don't know. I think watching the White Lotus, the coast of Italy, seems fun.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. But I don't want to worry about getting robbed all the time. And if you go into some of those Italian villages, are they going to run out with knives when you enter their premises?
Well, that's Sicily, so you're fine.
Okay.
And I think as long as you avoid Naples, you'll be okay.
This is from Kyle. Hashtag, hey guys in the YouTube chat. After winning it all last year, if you could guarantee a win over either Michigan or in the college football playoff semifinal, but not both, which one are you taking?
Oh, Michigan. I just saw it. I just saw a national. To me, this season, I'm not going to change what I said at the beginning of the year. What mattered to me this season for Ohio State was beat Michigan, win the Big Ten. That's what mattered most to me. Now, when I'm in the moment, of course, you'd rather have the semifinal and you get to a championship. But at the beginning of the year, I said beat Michigan, win the Big Ten. Those are my goals.
So if you win the semifinal, you can play for the Natty, but you're not guaranteeing a Natty. You're guaranteeing a win over Michigan. We're all we want the shot at it, but you're not guaranteeing me the title. I think I'd probably say the Michigan win, even though you don't get the shot to play for it. If you're guaranteeing me the national championship, well, that's no-brainer. Different. We just did that, right? So
yeah, it's fun.
Listen, getting to Indy this year, it has been a while. That is going to be fun for Ohio State if they can do that.
We'll go to Twitter next. This from Asphalt Soldier, who says, "Hey guys, I attended a live college game for the first time in years last week. 1, when did they allow players to wear shorts? And 2, why does the play clock start before the ball's even placed on incomplete passes?"
Okay, so
the shorts thing's interesting.
Yeah, so that's, I mean, this has been this way for a while, but like a lot of skill guys, like they don't wear the knee pads because it restricts their speed. So usually you see sometimes what they'll do is they'll wear like tights underneath it. If the officials are on them, they'll wear tights underneath it so they can't tell. NFL does this all the time. So they can't tell where the knee pads are or where they're not. So that's what that's all about, is basically a minimal. But I never thought knee pads did anything anyway. They were just clunky to me. I had no real use for them. I didn't have use for hip pads either. Like I just didn't. But I also wasn't Earl Campbell, so maybe that would be a little bit different. And then the play clock thing is new in the last few years. I don't know when that came into effect, but where the clock runs. It used to be in college football, first down clock stops. Now they just try to keep it moving. Now, if you think to yourself, well, then why are the games so long if there's so many fewer plays? Well, because they've just added the commercials to pay for all of this. That's why all of that happened.
That's right. Let's speed the game up so we can add more downtime.
That's right.
Inventory and content. Ace asks, "Hey guys, you get to dress a head college football coach in any outfit for their game day sideline attire. Which coach are you dressing and which outfit are you going with?" He is putting Ryan Day in Cam Newton's yellow suit with the top hat.
I'm trying to think who would be the right coach to do this. So I think it would be. It's funny, like the coach that has like the most personality. I guess like Dan Lanning as Tony Montana would be pretty good, since he's snorting something on Saturday nights. Like Kiffin dressed as Tom Landry would be kind of fun. Like the fedora, the full suit, all of it. Somebody in a cowboy hat would be great.
That would be Go Hogs.
I was just thinking if we had old cold beer.
Yeah.
Go Hogs.
He'd be our guy. Can Sark rock a cowboy hat?
Could Jimbo rock a?
I got ranches.
I mean, on the ACC network when he does the pregame, nobody watches. Like maybe.
Just a man without a country with all his ranches.
So 2 things popped into my head. The very first one was, let's just dress Ryan Day up as Woody.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's not that far off, you need the glasses, all of that. And then the second thing, it's kind of close to where you were going, not quite Tom Landry, but let's put Kiffin in a full-on pimp suit. All of it.
I was thinking tracksuit for Kiffin, like his whole coaching staff just has Adidas powder baby blue tracksuits, or whoever their apparel supplier is.
It's Nike, but it would be a similar feeling if they did that, if you did the tracksuit or if you did the pimp suits. You could also just dress him like Harry in Dumb and Dumber, in the baby blue.
Perfect.
Oh, that'd be Sharon and Biff Poggi, Dumb and Dumber suits on the Michigan sideline.
There we go.
I was also wondering, just looking through the schedules, November 1st is a couple days removed from Halloween, but could we get James on the sideline in a Trestle sweater vest? James and Hartline in different color sweater vests.
They should do that.
Just a nice throwback and homage.
That would be very cool. That would be really cool.
Stylishly.
Be pretty good.
That'd be really cool if if they honor the lieutenant governor at some point, this year, if the entire staff was in sweater vests, would be a hell of a choice. Yeah.
We got to pick a winner, and I don't think we've ever had a better one than coming to us from a rooftop pool in Nice, France.
No, that's a good job. What was the name on that?
Sean on that.
God bless him.
That is
Enjoy
so
yourself.
Anchorman. Come see how good I look.
You're impressed. All right, he gets the $50 gift card to our great friends at High Bank of the Free Distillery and the Tasting for up to 10. A massive day on the Diamond, an afternoon on the Diamond for the Guardians. The Reds trying to get back to even with the Dodgers. We'll get into some of that. And, of course, the news of the day in the NFL, the change at quarterback for the Browns. It's all coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
2 blockbuster game shows, 1 jackpot-sized night.
Fox tonight, the floor is back with a Stars and Stripes showdown.
I'm Rob Lowe, and it's a state against state battle.
Then,
84 players remain.
Ken Jeong and Aaron Andrews host the new $1 Million Game Show, where the games look simple.
Players must catch potatoes with a fork.
Until the pressure's on.
Know what it's like to unfreeze a pair of pants?
To win the $1 million, they've got 99 to beat.
Tonight, starting at 8 on Fox 28.
At the end of the day, the sun sets on Central Ohio, but stories are still unfolding. Every voice, every neighborhood, every question that still needs answers. Fox 28 News at 10 is there in the quiet moments and at the turning points, digging deeper, finding solutions, lifting up the communities that shape who we are. At the end of the day, you deserve a team that's on your side. Fox 28 News at 10, always on your side.
Hey friends, it's Austin Ward. Covering college football every week shows you how momentum changes everything. That's what Awaken 180 did for me. Once I started, the progress kept building. I feel more confident, more comfortable in my own skin, and I've got energy again. The numbers matter, but the real story is how much better I feel now. If you want that kind of momentum in your life, to do it and then keep the weight off, do what we all did and choose the solution for weight loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Let's face it, repairing or replacing your roof is a big decision. It's an investment in your home, your safety, and your peace of mind. But with so many roofing companies out there, how do you know which one to trust? How do you know your investment will be in good hands? Since 1992, Newman Roofing has been the family-owned company homeowners have relied on. We understand that roofing projects can be stressful. That's why we built our company around you, offering a white glove experience designed to make your roofing project as smooth and easy as possible. At Newman Roofing, we focus on the details because the details matter. Our craftsmanship, attention to quality, and commitment to service are second to none. Why? Because when your name is on it, it just means more. Your roof isn't just another project. It's our promise to deliver the very best. So, as the cooler weather approaches, don't wait. Get your Newman roof while there's still time this fall. Call us today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit us online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S, Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Join Rothman and Ice every Thursday at 2:30 for Gold Jacket Thursday.
Presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A new Hall of Famer joins the show every week. But not OJ, because he's dead and probably a murderer. The Fan.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, you might not be big on technology, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Maybe you've gone through a divorce or a bad breakup, or a relative moved out. It's been hard, and you just want to take what you want and leave the rest behind. I will help you. Retiring and want to sell your commercial properties or land. I will help you. Sellers, whether you're selling as is or selling for top dollar, you're no longer alone. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Another summer day ahead with daytime highs topping out in the low 80s and bluebird skies with plenty of sun. For tonight, a few more clouds in our lows, getting down into the upper 40s to low 50s. But then for Thursday, we'll see partly sunny skies and highs right around 80 degrees. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Just when you thought afternoons couldn't get any dumber.
You fellas been doing a bit of boozing, have you?
Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
Your home for dumb. The Fan. Taking the art of sports radio and day drinking to a whole new level. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Indeed you are. The Capital Florida Columbus High School football game of the week takes us to Liberty Friday night. The defending Division I state champs host undefeated UA. Coverage starts at 6:30. The kick's at 7. After the game, it's Byers, Subaru, Dublin overtime with Bake and Lee. Friday nights are for high school football right here on the Fan. Is this the best weather high school football season so far we've had? In my memory, it is. We didn't really yeah. I mean, there hasn't been like a crazy sticky one. We haven't had any rainouts.
I think the one 2 weeks ago was decently hot, but not like it can be. And yeah, we haven't had any like crazy knock on wood, rain, windy, all of that stuff kind of nights. So I would think so.
Yeah.
Adding on to that, Ohio State game days so far in Columbus have been perfect.
It's a good point. Yeah, it's been a great. I mean, this is us. This is what we do best. This time of year. It's Labor Day through the end of October. This is it. This is the time where you thrive, is this time of year. Now, for us, it's our busiest time, and so we're working like maniacs. But for everybody else, like once your kids, if you have kids and once they graduate and are out of the house, this would be the time that you would just thrive here. Just play golf all the time. Whatever your outdoor hobby is, do it all the time this time of year in our state. So this is what we do best. I was driving around yesterday and I was listening to a conversation with Rothman and Ice and the great Cole, and they didn't know what a 7 and 7 was. Had never heard of the drink order a 7 and 7. And so initially I almost drove off the road with the idea that they didn't know what that was. And then I thought to myself, and AR asked me, like, are we old? And I said, yeah, I think first of all, we're old. And then why do they not know what a 7 and 7 is? Do you know what one is, Reese? I'm pretty sure Bake does. Do you know what a 7 and 7 is?
Is it Seagram's and 7-Up?
Nailed it.
Correct.
Nailed it.
And that has always been my preferred mixer with a whiskey more than Coke. Like if I'm going to go whiskey and 7 if I mix it that way than whiskey and Coke.
Maddie and
time.
Cole not knowing that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Well, so that was it. So then I thought, well, why? And I think the reality of it is that for an older generation, the reason that we had things like 7 and 7s or Jack and Coke or my buddy Dusty Felski used to call BV Coke Mother's Milk, like the reason we had those drinks is because when you are in your late teens, early 20s, you don't necessarily like the taste of whiskey. So you need something to take it down a notch, to give it so you can have some. And then you say to yourself, well, why would you do that? Why would you drink like that in those days to try to? Well, I'll tell you why, because we had to go talk to girls. That's why. And we need a little bit of liquid courage to get there. Nowadays, the kids don't have to go talk to girls. They don't have to have interpersonal communications. You don't have to suffer the indignity of walking up to a girl in a bar and asking to buy her a drink or asking for her number and her saying, no. You don't have that. Because all you can do, you just app it. Swipe left, swipe right. That's it now. Like, do people even do that anymore? Do people even, is liquid courage even a thing anymore?
I'm sure in some situations, but it's limited, I would imagine.
Well, no, you don't need it because you just send them an Instagram message from across the bar.
But we don't know if that's 100% of the time, right? Because we're not in those environments anymore. So
here's what we do know. It's something that didn't exist.
That's true.
When I was banging.
I feel like most people, younger people now, shoot their shots over the internet.
It's more prevalent, certainly, yeah.
You're way more protected. You're not nearly as vulnerable. I mean, I just think back, it was funny when I was hearing them talk about it. I definitely had a buddy who drank 7 and 7, and I think in part because it was a cool thing to order. I mentioned the Mother's Milk order. Jack and Coke was real. Jack and Diet was a lot of Jack and Diet. 7, then there was like vodka 7 was an order that you'd get all the time. It does feel like 7-Up has been replaced by ginger, like ginger ale or ginger beer.
Or soda.
That's swapped.
The
soda.
Yep. What a vodka, and soda.
Just soda water. Yeah.
Vodka soda's the order now. Yeah. So, but I remember I had a buddy who, like, he liked a Greyhound. You know what a Greyhound is?
No.
So it's vodka and grapefruit juice.
No.
No.
Do you know what a Colorado Bulldog is?
No.
This sounds like something I could find on Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, it sounds like you should be Googling that
Can't
one.
be great.
So it's funny now, all this stuff's rushing into my head, like all these drink orders through the years of just being able to find a way to choke down alcohol so that you'd had courage to talk to girls. But the Colorado Bulldog is, if memory serves, is Kahlua, vodka, I think cream, and Coke. And it basically tastes like a chocolate milk. That's kind of what it tastes like.
Okay.
A little bit. I think that's what it is. But yeah, it was all just to disguise the taste of the liquor, because
it was all booze delivery vehicle.
Of course. Yes. You don't actually like the taste of this stuff until you get older. Then you're like, "Oh, I like it." I remember being the first guy. I'll never forget this. I watched Swingers, and Favreau goes, when they're at Vegas, and he says, a Glen, any Glen will do, a single malt, blah, 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 blah. And the other guy orders a Cuddy on the rocks or whatever. That was the first time that I even thought to order scotch at a bar, was then. And then the reason I kept doing it is because anytime somebody would say, "Hey, can you get me whatever you're getting?" I would say, "Well, I'm going to have scotch on the rocks, or scotch and soda, or bourbon on the rocks." They'd be like, "Oh, yeah, I'm good." And then I didn't have to buy the round, because no one was drinking scotch on the rocks or bourbon on the rocks in those days. They always wanted something else. Think about, from a bartender standpoint, you'd have a salad bar behind that thing for all these orders. Who's stocking grapefruit juice nowadays?
Now you probably just get away with pouring a grapefruit seltzer.
Might.
It's fizzy, ice, and vodka.
Well, none of that stuff even existed.
No.
There was Zima.
Oh, you drop a Jolly Rancher in there, you'd have a time.
All the girls did. Just drop that in.
A couple Skittles.
Sucking down a Zima on a Friday night. God. Yeah. But I think we've all just changed. Who's winning tonight, Guards or Reds? Or neither?
Both.
I think the Guards do. I kind of feel like this is the end of the road for my Red Legs, unfortunately.
Tall task.
Yeah.
Who's pitching for LA tonight?
Shinobu.
Yeah.
Yamamoto.
It's a good season, though.
173 innings pitched I saw for him this year. 200 strikeouts.
God.
I think it'd be fair to say you can just give the World Series to the Dodgers, but you got to play all the games. I do understand that, but they're good everywhere except for their bullpen.
If they get, it's going to be them in the Phils next. If they get through the Reds, and I think everybody would want that. They'd want that to be the NLCS, instead of, the DS. Who are you throwing today? Who are the Guards throwing, Reese?
Today is Tanner Bybee.
Okay.
And it's the first start for Chase DeLauter. He'll be playing in center field. The lineup for the Guardians is much different than it was yesterday. No John Kenzie Noel, no Jonathan Rodriguez. DeLauter and Kafis slot in. CJ Kafis will be playing first base. So I have confidence that Kafis won't slide off the thing.
Yeah.
Like make the routine play and keep your foot on the base.
I hope they get a good start to it so it doesn't become nervy. Because I always think that's when things start to go south. Like get a couple of runs, touch them up early, and then you can kind of cruise from there. And the good news is you're not going to play Scooble anymore, so that helps.
You get to avoid him forever.
He's another level. We'll go around the Big Ten with our good buddy Scott Dochterman at The Athletic in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Did you want information on the Ohio Lottery's Rolling Cash 5? Okay. Rolling Cash 5 is a daily draw game where you select 5 numbers from 1 to 39 and win by matching 2, 3, 4, or 5 numbers. Jackpots start at $100,000 and grow until someone wins. You can learn more at OhioLottery.com or the Ohio Lottery app. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly. Want to go back to the radio? Okay.
This is Corey Sickles with Safe Harbor Wealth Advisors. Concerned about your investment's rate of return? Let us show you exactly how your portfolio is performing. Visit safeharboroh.com to schedule a complimentary meeting. safeharboroh.com.
Listen up.
Y'all know what time it is.
Abbott Elementary returns.
Miss Shementi will no longer be teaching second grade. She'll be moving up to teach middle school math in homeroom.
New year.
Preteens are very different than second graders. Every day is like an episode of Scared Straight. What?
Same Abbott.
We live in a post-truth landscape, and these kids hit below the belt, which is where you haven't been touched in years.
Abbott Elementary season premiere.
Tonight at 8:30 on ABC6.
Good morning, Columbus. It's going to be a good day, and it's going to be big. With the biggest morning news team in Central Ohio, Good Day Columbus. The biggest news, weather, and traffic in town every day. Bringing you over 5 hours of breaking news, live reports, and continuing coverage, and stories that'll make you smile. First Warning Weather gets you ready for the day ahead, and Steer Clear Team Traffic will get you to work on time. Good Day Columbus, weekday mornings on ABC6. It's going to be a good day.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Distilled sports discussion served in light beer quantities. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Well, we're about a quarter way into the college football season, and so we wanted some perspective from a national level. Great friend of the program, Scott Dochterman, national college football writer at The Athletic, joins us on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Great to talk to you again, Scott. Let's just start here. Are the two best teams in the country in the Big Ten, in your estimation?
Absolutely. The only question for me is in which order. I thought both were very impressive last weekend. Oregon, to me, has the most impressive win of anybody in the country, and go into Happy Valley in that environment to take a 2-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter and then to pull it out in overtime when all the momentum was on Penn State's side. And I was really impressed with the way that they've played, way Dante Moore has played, because as we know, last year Dylan Gabriel was the Big Ten MVP, but Dante Moore is got a little bit more of a diverse skill set, and I think he could be a little more dangerous for the Ducks this year. And so, with all their departures and especially at receiver when Evan Stewart went down in the summer with an injury, I was kind of wondering whether or not they could equal to what they did last year, but I think they're really close to that. But then I'm equally as impressed with Ohio State. Losing 14 returning starters, that entire defensive line that was the best in the country, and yet to be able to go out to Washington and hold down, which I think is one of the best trios in the country, and Devon Williams and Jonah Coleman and Denzel Boston. I mean, held them to 6 points, really shut them down, and when they got really close to the goal line. And Caden Curry and Caden McDonald, the way they played, I mean, and to me, I think they're clearly the top two teams in the country at this point. And, and then I wouldn't put Indiana or Penn State that much farther behind them. So I think the Big Ten is every bit as strong as it was last year.
Scott, is it the more that I think about all of this, I think the NIL thing, some of my SEC friends aren't going to like this, but they're not really listening, so I don't care. I think like all of the stuff that was happening under the table down there is now above board. And these Big Ten teams, they've got big bank accounts, and it's completely leveled it. And now the top, I think the Big Ten is the best league in the country. Won the last 2 national titles. Like it's kind of done now, isn't it?
I think it is. At this point, it certainly is. And as you mentioned, there was a lot of under-the-table talk, but I think the other part is that there's a lot of really great talent that's in the South, but when you couldn't get paid above board in the North, you weren't going to go there. You weren't, maybe they'd go to Ohio State, but outside of Ohio State, you didn't see Penn State or Michigan going down and beating Georgia and Alabama for recruits. Well, now you can, and on top of it, you can win a lot of recruiting battles in the portal because you have the money to spend, which all these programs certainly do. And then the other part that I think is the most fascinating, this happens to be with Indiana, is that for a program like Indiana, which has no history whatsoever in football, it's been the punching bag of the Big Ten for 100-plus years, to have a good coach and to be able to evaluate talent and then cultivate it and pay for it, I think it shows that there's a lot of upward mobility if you have the right coaching staff. And when you look at the Big Ten, I mean, everybody talks about how great the coaches are in the SEC, but I think it's been proven now that the Big Ten has either, if not an equal, maybe even a better collection of coaches. I mean, Dan Lanning's as good as it gets. I think Ryan Day proved his chops last year. James Franklin, yes, he's 1-15 against top 5 teams, which will sticks to him like a brand, but he's still a pretty good evaluator in some of the other schools. So I think this is, at this point, there's really no question in my mind that the Big Ten is the best conference, and NIL has been able to even out the playing field for the Big Ten.
Scott, did you think Cignetti would be able to back that up last year the way he has?
No, I did not. I thought this year that they would be good based on the players that they had, but you always kind of wonder when's the cup it's going to happen. When are these teams? Are they going to win games on the road like they did last weekend? But I didn't expect 63-10 against Illinois. I thought it'd be a fairly close game. And then I didn't think that when they came to Kinnick, they got Kinnick's best shot. They got Iowa's best shot, and Iowa had a couple of plays late that really killed them. I mean, a bad screen pass by a backup quarterback really ended their chance from pulling out that Kinnick magic. But overall, to still see what he's been able to accomplish there and the talent that they have. I mean, they're a complete team, both sides of the ball in every phase. It's as incredible of a job as I've probably ever seen, to have a program like that be able to be a top 10 team, and legitimately so.
Well, you and I have that in common, because I thought they'd fall on their face, and they're not at all. They're going to be right back in the mix of this thing. I thought what they did at Kinnick was damn near as impressive as what they did the previous week to Illinois, because to your point, that was everything that Iowa presents, and they battled and survived and advanced. The same is not true of Penn State. You ever a program with that much talent, with that much history, that much tradition, but just a complete failure at the highest level when there is a talent equates game? You've been around the sport a long time. What do you do if you're Penn State?
That's a great question, because you wonder if they're in some sort of a upper level purgatory, that you've got a really good coach that you've had a lot of success with, but can't break through. They have a quarterback that is really good and really talented. We all see it. But in critical moments, he makes big-time mistakes. And when this continues to happen over and over and over again, in the pro sports, you break up the team. You figure, you know what, it's time to make a change somewhere. But in college sports, you don't see that, obviously. You can't really with the players. And I just wonder, is there a way for them to do something a little bit different? And I kind of think that James Franklin maybe gets in his own head a little bit, and he maybe tinkers too much with the offense. He tinkers too much with some of the aspects of the game. But, to go to 2-18 against top 6 competition, since he arrived at Penn State, 2 of those wins were back in their 2016 season. They're really at a crunch time. And with the team that they have, the players that they have back, if they somehow, they lose at Ohio State, and let's say they slip up at a place like Iowa, they've got to go to Kinnick in a couple of weeks, and they've had a lot of fist fights there over the years. If they go 9-3 and don't make the playoff, I think it's almost time for that amicable split where, hey, thanks for all that you did, but we've got to go in a different direction, and maybe James Franklin needs to do the same thing. And I don't mean to kick dirt on their grave, because we certainly know what Ohio State did last year when everybody was doing that, but at least with Ohio State there was proof that it happened, and they had the team and the talent to do it. With Penn State, you're still in the belief stage, not really in a faith stage, and I think that's really a tough spot for the Nittany Lions.
Talking to one of the best in the business, great friend of the program, Scott Dochterman, national college football writer at The Athletic. One of the things, the pressure on Franklin, I thought was the most in the conference this year. But I did think there was a lot of pressure on Matt Rule at Nebraska. Not necessarily this year, but he's got this 2-year window with Raiola where they've got to win something of significance. Not the Big Ten. This ain't 1995. That's not the case, and I don't know if there'll be a playoff team, but doesn't he have to be a 9-win team either this year or next, or approach 10? What's kind of your read of where he is with that program now and Raiola in year 2?
They're a better program than what they were previously, but are they a good one? I'm not sure. And for the fan base, that's one of the best in the country and as passionate as there is, that they deserve better. Now, Matt Rule has built it the right way. They do have a good quarterback, but I really thought that Michigan was there for the taking for them.
Me too.
And they had the Hail Mary, right before half. But to get ran over like that, give up 300 rushing yards, and still, they lost by 3 points. But if you take away the Hail Mary again, then you're looking at what the matchup really was. And they weren't nearly as good as a team that I think is still probably in the 8-9 win range in the Big Ten. So I think they've got some work to do. Now, can they get to that level? That's hard to say, because I think what Indiana shows is that it's more than possible, if you have the resources, and Nebraska certainly does, to go out and put your team in position to make a playoff if you're a team, especially like Nebraska with that tradition and history. And to not get there and to have that talent, homegrown talent, shows that there's a slight failureship when it comes to the coaching staff. Now, they have a really advantageous schedule. They play USC, Penn State, and then they finish with Iowa. Those are probably the marquee games. They should be an 8-4 type of team this year. And if they can't get to that, then I think there's really problems across the board. If they can, then it just shows that they've kind of reached a happy medium, and then they got to take the next step. And if they can't do that, then they've got to also examine their futures, because I think patience is thin just about everywhere in the playoff era. And when the playoff expansion goes to 16, you're going to see teams with a quick hook on coaches that just reach them to a modest level, but not a playoff caliber level.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. I'll get you out of here on this one. I never liked the fit for Luke at Wisconsin. I didn't understand it. It just seemed like it was difficult, but even I didn't think it would go like this. Can he get through this? Can he get through this year? Does he get another year? Do they have the ability to move on if they want to?
It's a lot of money. I think it's right in the neighborhood of $28 million to pay out, which Wisconsin, of course, hasn't ever had to really do. They did a little bit with Paul Chryst, but I think there should be an appropriate amount of heat on first, when you look at Chris McIntosh for making that move, by firing Paul Chryst in the middle of the season, having your successor that everybody wanted and then decided not to hire him and then go with Luke Fickell. I think he needs to be under the same spotlight and microscope. But with Luke Fickell, you're taking a program that really was a quarterback shy from maybe making the playoff a couple of times a decade ago. And instead they shredded the program. They went to more of the first couple of years was more of a air raid type attack, and that it really killed their identity. And for teams like, say, in Iowa, when Kirk Ferentz finally retires, you got to be careful about shredding your identity, because you can turn into what Wisconsin is, which is it has no identity now. And the one thing that it was so good at in previous years, no matter who the DC was the defense. When it ran that 3-4, they were so gap sound, had great integrity. They were in every gap, every single play, didn't matter who was doing it. It was T.J. Watt or Vince Beagle or whomever, and they always played great defense. And now they get ran over like they're by a Zamboni. What we saw was Maryland. I mean, Maryland blowing them out at home at Camp Randall. And then you look at their schedule coming up, like Michigan this week, Iowa, Ohio State, Oregon. Then they go the next month, and you've got Washington, Indiana, Illinois, and Minnesota. I don't know that I see a win out of that group. Maybe they knock off Iowa at home or something, or maybe Minnesota at the end. But this is a program that's in disarray. They can't get it back on track, and it just shows you if you forfeit your identity, it's hard to get it back if you're at a program like Wisconsin. And so I think it's buyer beware for programs like Nebraska that's really never reached its full potential.Iowa, when Kirk Ferentz moves on, be careful that you want to switch to something else, more exciting offense, and then all of a sudden you're a perpetual bottom feeder, because Wisconsin is now the poster child for be careful what you wish for, because you might actually get it.
Love having you on, buddy. Thank you so much for your time. Greatly appreciate you.
All right, thanks, Blaine. Appreciate you.
All right, there he goes. Scott Dochterman, national college football reporter at The Athletic on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Get your officially endorsed in 3 things on a First Friday coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The Daily Ryan Day Show is brought to you locally by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers and by Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse on the Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
This is a Daily Show with Coach Ryan Day, brought to you by Safe Flight Auto Glass. In looking at this point of the season, just asking about how your offense is growing, and now that you've seen what they've done, having to play on the road against a crowd with a lot of noise.
I think what we've tried to do is have the versatility to, one, play in multiple groupings, two, run the ball and throw play action pass in multiple groupings, get the ball to multiple people. You see we've been utilizing the tight ends, we've utilized multiple running backs. You see what our receivers can do. Then you combine that with the ability to line up and huddle and shorten the game if you believe that's what's right, but then also play faster and elongate the game. So those are all things that we want to make sure that we're building as the season goes on, so that as these games come into play, we can utilize the strategy we need to best win the game, because that ultimately is what matters. And I think going on the road in this first game, you saw us control the game. We're disappointed that we didn't score the first time down there and that we fumbled early in the game, but we didn't panic. So that was a good sign. Won the middle 8 and then ultimately controlled the game. And I think that's maybe a little something different than the way we've looked in the past. But even when we were up, by less than 10 points, I think everybody on that sideline felt like, we were going to win the game. The game was under control because of what we were doing, moving the ball on offense. But we need to continually work on making sure that we're maximizing each drive by ending with touchdowns.
Okay, we'll have another comment in just a moment.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safe Flight Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at SafeLight.com. Safe Light Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Buckeye fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes those moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light, choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado, beer.
And looking at your most recent game, Ryan, and maybe this dovetails off what you were just talking about, but 8 different players catching passes. Does that help kind of expand the options that are there?
Yeah, and the more guys who catch passes, the more confidence they'll have, the more confidence Julian will have throwing the ball to them. And then it allows us more versatility in terms of our attack and what we're doing, so we don't get narrowed down, and then we can take advantage of personnel groupings and matchups down the road.
Okay, this is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
For over 37 years, Buckeye Nation has known Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse for serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks are a staple in Columbus, with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. And just like the Buckeyes, we strive for excellence and an experience like no other. Hyde Park is proud to introduce the newly added wine room at our downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining surrounds you, creating the ideal setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
When it comes to all-wheel drive vehicles, nobody gives you more to choose from than Toyota, including the best-selling Camry and the best-selling RAV4.
You've also got Toyota's 5 Brothers, which include the best-selling Tacoma and the legendary new 4Runner.
All-wheel drive gives you the traction you need for confident driving on any road, in any weather.
With 25 different all-wheel drive choices, there's only one thing you need to know.
Nobody knows all-wheel drive better than Toyota. Let's go places.
Ever wonder where your go-to maintenance person gets the metal products they need to fix yours and everyone else's problems? The best in the business go to Metal Supermarkets for their wide variety of metal products and shapes to tackle projects from simple to complex. Metal Supermarkets is your source for all metals cut to size and ready fast. No minimum order with maximum service. Visit the family-owned franchise on North Wilson Road or at Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Bo knows many people. He talks to the interesting ones on this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, Reese, what are you on the poll today?
Daily Fan Poll asks our listeners if they've got more confidence in the Guardians or the Reds in forcing a Game 3 on Thursday. 91% say the Guardians they have more confidence in than the Reds in winning Game 2 today, forcing Game 3 tomorrow.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot about opponent, right? Yeah, it's a full day out in Los Angeles. All right, so First Friday, hit it.
Bishop and Friends present First Friday. Officially endorsed because everyone deserves 2 Fridays.
Sponsored by Hydrate Me Med Spa. Feel better, recover faster, live optimized with Hydrate Me.
Drink for the wrong reasons. My generation, we drink because it's good. Because it feels better than unbuttoning your collar. Because we deserve it. We drink because it's what men do.
You know, I still like going into a liquor store and looking for something that I haven't had before. It's a little bit like baseball cards when I was a kid, and hoping something cool pops up. It's harder now with the Ohio Liquor Commission. Everything's so regulated and so online, so you don't really see surprises very much. So I've gone to this place that I go all the time, and there's a guy there that I like, and I'm like, well, do you have something new that I haven't tried or that I'm unaware of? And he handed me a bottle of Bardstown Double-Barreled Discovery Series 13. Comes in at 110 proof, so it's a little hot. I did mine over a rock and just kind of let it chill for a little bit. It was a delight. So it's a very good job out of him, and it's good enough for you're officially endorsed on this fine First Friday. Time for 3 things.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina, Central Ohio's largest selection of new and pre-owned boats. Find your next dream boat at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
All right, number 1 for me, this one from Marky. I'm too late for Hey Guys, but I want you all to know that do you know what a Colorado Bulldog is? Just made me spit up my coffee. And the Zima conversation reminded me that my buddy once dropped a bouillon cube into a girl's bottle alongside her Jolly Rancher.
Oh.
Why?
That's amazing.
Oh, no.
Amazing.
So mean.
Bouillon cube. Oh, my God. Zima. This tastes like beef. This Zima really tastes like beef. And by the way, I had it right. A Colorado Bulldog, 1.5 ounces of vodka, 1.5 ounces of Kahlua, 1.5 ounces of heavy cream, a splash of cola is the Colorado Bulldog. And it really tastes like a chocolate milkshake.
My first thing, I'm also going to go back to Hey Guys, because Shannon asks if I would suffer through 10 years of Buckeye mediocrity for an Ohio Bobcat National Championship. Only if that Buckeye mediocrity involved in that 10-year span being above 500 against Michigan. I don't know if I could go a decade having to hear from those idiots.
That'd be tough, yeah.
So talking about these old drinks and things that we used to do had me thinking about some of the stuff that me and my friends did. And it's definitely a miracle that we're still alive. But we used to play this game called Pass the Boones, where you'd take a bottle of Boone's Farm wine, usually the strawberry or the blue, and you just hand it around the circle, and everybody would take a big drink until it was gone. And sometimes it got back to you, sometimes it didn't, depending how many people we were playing with. But we have to talk about Mad Dog 2020 if we're talking about old-time drinks.
For sure, but I gotta tell you, like when I was going to get the Boone's Farm, that was for the ladies. Like you're out here you're a good Grove City boy, man.
This was just dumb kids at parties, man, just doing
Sucking down
stupid
Boone's
things.
Farm?
I mean, it wasn't the only thing we were drinking, obviously, but Jaeger bombs, I don't know why those were ever a thing, but God, we did too many of those. And we drank a lot of Ice 101 back in our day. A lot.
Yeah, it's different world. Number 2 for me. So this happened Sunday. NBC goes to me, like sometimes kids just pose like ridiculous things. He's like, "Do you think you could ski down Everest?" Like he just said it, and I go, "No, are you an idiot? Of course I can't ski down Mount Everest." I said, "No one can ski down Mount Everest," and he goes, "Yeah, they can. They just did." And I go, "I promise you, Paige, I don't know what you've seen on social media, but you cannot ski down Mount Everest." I go, "I'll bet you $500 that no one's ever skied down Mount Everest." I said, "I'll take your $500 from your cards. I bet you $500. Someone skied down Everest."
What?
Yeah,
like from
one of those Red Bull guys. Now I'm trying to get out of it on the technicality that they stopped and rested because it's 30,000 feet and you can't do it all in one fell swoop. But he had no oxygen, and the guy did it. And so my idiot kid showed me the video of this, and I'm going, well, now what? So I'm hoping for the technicality. He's going to keep coming for the 500 bones. This is where we're at.
As he should, I guess. Did he start at the top?
Yes. It happened last week.
That's pretty incredible.
I didn't even think it was physically possible.
I mean, with planning the proper routes and with resting and with getting oxygen.
Jeez.
Yeah, probably. But boy, when you just say like someone skied down Everest, you're like, no.
Right. So I'm constantly in a war with the truth with them, Reese.
Yeah, that I guess that'll be my second thing. Bad job out of us for not recognizing that. Bad job out of me for not recognizing Baker's birthday today. Happy birthday, bud. And then bad job for me for my updates not recognizing the Columbus Crew, who are playoff bound as of right now. I think they've clinched a spot right now. If the playoffs started today, they'd be taking on the Chicago Fire in the wild card. So everybody's in the postseason.
Everybody's in.
Second thing for me, I guess I'll leave my Smoky Bars thing for tomorrow. But Rothman and Ice coming up next. It's a normal Wednesday for them with Adam Schefter and Bob Carpenter.
There you go. You have that. Yeah, no time for 3 today. Up against it. I look forward to Smoky Bar tomorrow. That sounds like a lot of fun. Bake, happy birthday, buddy. A perfect first Friday birthday gift for you. We are back tomorrow. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
T-Bone and Tyvus are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan.